received. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life. Grateful, grateful. Grateful for your love.
What's up, everybody? We are live like we do it every Tuesday. You know what it is. We're in the building, in the Lion's Den. I got my brother with me. We're going to get into some stuff tonight. Don't want to be here long. Hopefully we get joined in by a couple people on the rendezvous. So just tune in, hit that like button, share the video while you're here. You are watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yes. Young Lion TV, the only podcast where you get it raw and real and from a perspective that you don't get so often from a bunch of guys who just, we've seen a lot, we've learned a lot, we've been a lot of places, been around the world a few times, and, we give our perspective on things, kind of things that we've learned, mistakes that we've made as young men that we try to help other young men not make, and spells that we try to break off of people's mindsets that we were under and we realized we were cast as we were growing up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Shout out to our Patreon members. I see Emma. I see our sister Courtney. Shout out to Eric, the Young Lions in the building. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are sharing the video and hit that like button while you're in here, because the algorithm does not appreciate what we talk about. Our titles, our topics, everything gets suppressed. So we need you guys to share to help spread what we do and keep the pride of the Young Lions growing. It's something that we, a community that we have really built and cultivated and care about. And it's a bunch of people that really love each other and try to change culture in this world, which we feel like we played a little part in recently. So we're happy about that. Shout out to all the people. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Rumble, if you're on X, if you're on Twitch, Facebook, wherever you're watching from, again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that like button and support what we do that way. Also, don't forget, if you want to really get involved, if you really want to help us grow this thing so we can really kind of expand what we do, head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/YoungLionTV, where there is different tiers of membership that you can sign up for and, show some support that way. Help us. Oh, it's not showing up. Okay, I see the logo up there, and let me get it up. Patreon.com/YoungLionTV. If you head on over there, you will see, there it is. You will see the different tiers of membership that you can sign up for. Also, you can support by going to our website and getting some of the merch. There is the Cuddly Grateful Bear that my mom thinks is entirely too expensive. But we're gonna get some.
That she wants somebody to buy.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a bunch of different merch on our website.
I love messing with her.
I know, we always gotta mess with her. Along with our new album, The Art of Breaking Through Shadows. Shout out to the people that came to the album release party.
Hey,
Emma, Courtney, we saw y'all. The people that came and supported when we released our first album in over a decade, where we really put a lot of time and effort with these crazy guys right here, and collectively put together an album that we're very excited about, with the song Grateful included on it, and a bunch of other great songs that were inspired by our walk with Jesus. So shout out to the people that are streaming that now. I saw Beautiful Eyes. Me and Carter were talking about that today. Beautiful Eyes just like got added to a playlist and just shot up.
Nice. That's always
out of nowhere.
I told you that's my favorite, dude.
I know.
When I was doing the lyrics, man, I just like, at one point I kind of like, when I was just like writing it out and I'm reading it as I'm writing it, it's like, oh my goodness, this is so. It's so beautiful. Like it literally reads like a poem.
Yeah.
My favorite is Darling.
Your favorite
Darling is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Darling.
Yeah.
Which one? The up tempo remix or the slower one? Which one do you
Both
like?
of them, I love them.
I mean,
Okay.
it's all good, but like I was just saying, I found a new love for how Beautiful Eyes just is so poetic.
Yeah,
really.
from having to write out the lyrics.
From having to write it out and then just reading it, it's amazing. So shout out to Big Brother Jake.
Yeah, shout out to Big Brother Jake, who should be joining us in a little bit. He's not in the building right now. He had to handle stuff at home. Shout out to David Rodriguez. He said, "What up, young people, young lion people?"
What up, Dave?
Yeah, what up? We in the building, man. So we're planning on another show at the City Winery coming up. We were looking at that in August. I don't know if everybody's available, but we'll be trying to set that up. But yeah, support it that way, guys. And also, don't forget, if you want to hit us up with just a little Cash App donation, which is always appreciated, you can hit us on $YoungLionTV on the Cash App and support that way without that. And that doesn't, that avoids Patreon getting a cut and all of that stuff if you want to support that way as well. So we appreciate everybody who supports us. You guys are the ones that keep this going, help us get new cables that we need all the time, camera, batteries, all kind of equipment that we always need. And, it costs a lot of electricity to keep this going, keep the Wi-Fi on, everything. So
is this a new camera right here?
This one is.
That one's the new camera.
Yeah, the one on me is a new camera. So shout out to everybody, and just in time because one of our cameras stopped working right when I got it.
Wild.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
It's meant to be.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy? It's the day it came.
What?
I couldn't get the other camera to turn on,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, because last week I had to have you bring your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. But yeah. Shout out to the Patreon members for supporting Papa Jeff. But yeah, Emma said his is gold. That's your favorite, Emma? Sweet.
Gold is awesome.
Gold is a good one.
They're
Gold is a
they're
good
all
one.
good.
I've been listening to the album. It's good. I'm happy to be a part of this.
Yeah, man. I listen to it at the gym usually.
Yeah.
Listen to it straight through. It gets me through my entire,
Workout.
I'm only in there for like an hour at the most. And it usually gets me through my whole thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I'll still want to listen to the next song, so I'll like sit in the parking lot listening, and it's funny.
It all sounds good, dude.
Yeah.
And I got new headphones too, like in ears.
Yeah.
Because I had Raycons, but these ones, dude, like the mix on that is so good. Shout out to you, dude. Like I'm listening to it. It sounds so good, man. Like with these headphones.
Thank you, man.
that I got,
Thank you.
it sounds
You
so
can
good.
appreciate the real.
Yes.
Yeah, because most
Raycon-
people listen to them on the Apple earbuds. They're not good quality.
No.
Actually the AirPod Maxes that I got for
The
Christmas, the cans, they actually sound good.
Yeah.
They actually do sound good. Those have good definition. I can actually use those and like hear things in the mix and stuff like that I want to tweak. But
I like a well balanced sound.
Yeah.
Raycons had a little too much bass for me. Like
okay.
it's, I guess because
Jeffrey said he listens to it when he's on the road.
Awesome. Awesome. We know you listen to a pop. We appreciate you. Amber on YouTube said, "Hey guys, I think Hold On is my favorite from the new album." Shout out to Hold On, man. That song was written so many years ago.
Yes.
And we just
Really?
we never had a chance to actually do it. And I remember like one time at rehearsal with the band, we were just like, yo, we need to just get that song done.
Yeah.
And we started hashing it out. And I love the way that song came together, man.
Yeah. It's all great, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite. I mean, I talked about Beautiful Eyes, but I think it's right now like I found a new love for it.
Yeah.
But try. I listen to
Try, man. It's a great record. Higher Love, the new Higher Love.
Higher
Yeah, I
Love
love
is
it.
awesome.
What are we fighting for? Like, just the flow of it.
How about the old songs like Love Changes? And some of those songs on there are good.
Yeah.
Love 'em.
I mean, definitely the Love Changes Things album. Shout out to the people. We were actually, so my birthday was yesterday, guys. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody knows that.
Happy belated.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We had
Getting old.
I'm getting old, man. 44 years old.
Still
But
running circles around these young kids.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. And still blessed, man, to be able to, you know, live the life that we live and you know, have a wonderful family. I mean, this was one of the first birthdays that like it felt like I did too much, like because my birthday fell on a Monday, so it's like, you know, wife wanted to take me out to dinner on Saturday. You guys all came. It was a big thing at a fancy restaurant. We had a great time. We stayed at the bar, and then Sunday it was like, okay, so now people was giving me gifts and stuff, and then like, you know, I just kind of chilled Sunday, and then yesterday was my birthday, and then my mom was going to take me to lunch, but you know, unfortunately, my great uncle passed away. You know, rest in peace to him, and condolences to the family, of course. On my birthday, he passed away. But so she didn't end up taking me to lunch. But then my wife came home from work and was like, "Oh, let's go somewhere."
I saw
for
you.
dinner." So we
Just
went.
showed me, where is this?
We went to Q Ramen. You know where that is, right?
No. Was that on Route 70?
It's on Route 70,
Okay,
like right by
I-
Ellisburg Circle and all of that.
I
Yeah,
know where it's at.
yeah.
I've seen it,
Because I told her like I want to get the omu rice thing,
which is the egg.
the egg thing.
I
that
always
they-
wanted.
Yeah,
I still never tried that.
dude, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. She wasn't a big fan because you have to like a
Yoki.
yeah, it's more like a soft scramble, right?
Yeah.
It's like a soft scramble omelet, the way they make it. You know, because that it's so interesting. Like the way they make that is like it forms a skin in the pan, and then they like seal it up and let the yolky part just kind of steam in the middle. Put that
It
over
seemed like
rice.
it's definitely an art and a technique. To doing it.
Yeah. But of course, me and Elise loved it. We ate the whole thing, and but yeah, it was really good. So then I got to do that too, and then my mom took me to dim sum today because she couldn't take me yesterday. I'm like, man, this
You
is
just
too much.
partying
This
up,
is
man.
too much, man.
John went with us.
Yeah, John came too. Shout out to John.
Birthday week.
Yeah. But anyway, why was I bringing that up?
Because it was your birthday.
No, because we were talking about something. We were talking about
I don't remember.
talking about the album.
We were talking about the album and how blessed we are.
Yeah.
And it is your birthday.
Yeah. Shout out Amber said, I mean, the whole album is great. I have a lot of favorites. I listen to Hold On repeat, and Deep Story kept getting revealed to me the more I listened to it. Restoration. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
that song definitely speaks to that.
Courtney said, I love What Are We Fighting For?
What Are We Fighting For is a great one as well. And it's very relevant.
Mm-hmm. And Emma said, you still taking those runs on the soccer pitch.
That's right, man. I had to tell him on Saturday, you know. Somebody was like, man, you looking like 2018 Jamie out there. I said, I'm trying to keep it together. So I used to be way faster back in the day. But yeah, I forget why I brought that up. We were talking about something.
If you don't remember, I don't.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're blessed.
Yeah, we're blessed. Album is I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully Jake comes on. Let me see if any of them text me. Nope, they haven't. Okay. So I guess we talk first thing we should get into,
Eagles.
yeah, got to. You knew I was gonna go there. You knew I was gonna go there, right? First, right?
Boy.
Yeah, so that became a big story, non-story.
I thought it was
crazy.
I thought it was real.
Yeah.
Well, wait,
I
if you don't know
hear
what,
it.
and Jamie's talking about.
So I'll pull it up. So I saw this. This is the first thing I saw. It was from X account called Daily Loud. They reports the news, a lot of sports stuff. And this was their headline: Philadelphia Eagles decline White House visit. And then if you look in the comments, it's a bunch of people just like laughing, roasting the presidency, and then a bunch of conservatives that are pissed off, talking smack about the Eagles, and it blew up online. Everybody took a side, and immediately when I saw this, I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to talk about this on the podcast," because if it's real, I want to see how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're probably out of all of us, you're the biggest Eagles fan.
Yes.
And then out of all of us, you're the only one in our entire crew that like has a MAGA hat. Like you are definitely the most like Team Trump. You know what I'm saying?
I have a MAGA.
You have a MAGA hat.
I have a Trump mug.
Trump
that
mug.
My wife got me.
You got us Trump
events.
socks at your wedding.
Yes, I
that we got. And you wear the MAGA hat. The black MAGA though.
Yes, the black.
So
MAGA.
this what I want to ask, like when you first saw this and it seemed like it was real.
I thought it was real. I legit thought it was real.
What was your feeling though? Towards the team?
My first initial feeling was like, okay, I know Jeffrey Lurie is
huge lefty.
Yeah, and his son and whatever they donate to the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you should like when I saw the this is how I felt when I saw the sign on the bus thing, which was fake. Somebody did that.
Yeah, somebody
remember?
made that. Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, I'm thinking business wise. I was like, that's bad business.
Yeah.
Dude, because
that's when I saw that. That's when I thought it wasn't real. Because I'm like, there's no way they would make that decision.
Yeah.
Like they would if they did decline it, they would just quietly decline and not make a big story out of it and like turn it. But a sign on the bus, nah, that's crazy.
But that's how I felt though. I was like, I wasn't like mad. I'm like, all right, he's the owner and he's a lefty and there's probably people on the team that had a say in whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's what it is. But
it wouldn't make you like look at the team different in any way or like be disappointed in them in any way?
No, because that is like, to me, I feel like I'm a little more even keeled than like a lot of like left leaning people would be really pissed off and that. Like
I mean, you get hyped up with people's bad takes on the internet a lot of times.
I do because it's annoying as heck.
That's what I'm saying. So
Like it's like
you wouldn't be annoyed with the team.
I just want them to not be so emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like to have a little understanding. When you say that Trump can't do anything good, you got a little bit of the TDS, baby.
And we see it all the time. Like it's on full display right about now.
I just laugh because I'm just watching, a lot of people that we know.
Yeah.
They're gloating about it.
Right.
They're like, ha ha
ha ha.
Yeah. And then the real story comes out is like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the real story came out. First it got worse because I want to show this too. Like people were reporting. So then this escalated it, and I'll show this one from an Eagles Nation account. Right, it says according to a well-placed insider, discussions between #Eagles players and their front office resulted in a massive no when asked if they would accept an invitation to the White House to honor the Super Bowl victory per at the Sun. So that was the story escalated into like, well, an insider said that not only did they decline, they was like, hell no.
Yeah.
We ain't going. And they like...
And that might be partially true because, there's people on the team that probably has a say, but who has the last say?
Well, the owner and the coach.
Owner, the owner and the coach, and
Yeah.
you know,
And the stars like Jalen. Jalen doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would like
no,
get so emotional, like TDS, to be like, nah.
Yeah.
Like,
He was on the View though. I heard.
was he?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I think so. I didn't see any videos of that.
I
but
mean, but that could just been a press booking.
yeah,
you
they
know
did a
what I mean?
lot. They did a lot of press.
Yeah,
you know.
like that could have just been, him being in the press.
It is annoying though that they hyper focus on this so much.
Yeah,
you know.
it was annoying.
Because you know why? They don't have nothing else yet to focus on right now.
Oh, they have a lot.
No,
Are you
but
kidding
I'm
me?
saying, no, but I'm saying the stuff that they have is so ridiculous. Trump is doing this for the people, doing that for the people. Be happy. It's for the people.
No, they can't give it. They can't give him a win.
Yeah.
They can't give him a win. So then, of course, the conservative pundits started weighing in on the matter, and they get very tribal and very like.
So so this is under the premise of right now they think that
They think it's real.
it's real, and the Eagles have declined.
Yes. So the biggest one was Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly came out and she blasted the Eagles, and she said, F this BS. She said something about like, I only supported you because of my husband, but now I can go back to hating you. She went on this whole rant
She's
about
been
the
cussing a
Eagles.
lot.
She has a podcast now, so she can do what she wants. But yeah, so she went on her little rant, and then of course it came out that it wasn't true. This is from Ian Rappaport, who is a well-known sports news reporter. The hashtag Eagles would be honored to visit the White House. Team sources say it's one of the aspects of winning they are excited about and look forward to receiving the invitation. So
Because it's like really it's a sports tradition. If you
Yeah.
win the national championship, whatever it is, you go and visit the White House, and it's an honor.
Right.
No matter you set your politics aside, you're doing it for the nation.
Well, didn't they decline last time they won?
They did, I think.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
they didn't accept it. But that's because that was right, because it was 2017, right?
Yeah, they won 2017.
So that was like literally when Trump first got inaugurated.
Yeah.
And it was very, very much divisive at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Just
Culture has changed a little
let
bit.
it be. Let it be sports.
Yeah, like just
Come
show.
on.
But you see how the problem is the reaction from people. Remember when he did his inauguration this time, they had like that big marching band that was going to perform, and people were losing their minds about how could you do that. You saw how they reacted to Snoop Dogg and all the people we showed on the podcast that showed up for like the little dinners and the little performances. Like they wanted to cancel these people.
Yeah, the same thing with the he did this thing for Black History Month and invited Martin Luther King's niece, I think.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of black entrepreneurs, and they're just like roasting them.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna show some of that in a little bit. Especially by one very famous pastor.
Oh yeah.
But
That
this is
guy.
Trump. This is Trump officially inviting them to the White House, and they said they would be happy to take his invitation. Oh, let me bring the audio in. Make sure this is okay.
And I thought him saying that who can beat Patrick Mahomes was part of the reason too.
Yeah, he did say it would be tough to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. Are they being extended an invitation?
They will be. We haven't yet, but we will be. I thought it was a great performance by them, and absolutely they'll be extended that invitation. Would you do that right away, by the way? We'll do it right away. We're going to do it sometime today, and they deserve to be down here, and we hope to see them.
So there you have it. The invitation sent. They are happy to oblige, and then I think, yeah. So now it makes you wonder, like, What are all those people that you were talking about? Because you said you saw a lot of people from like our hometown, high school, like gloating.
Yeah,
What do you think those people are thinking now?
they're eating their words.
Yeah.
They're probably backtracking
Yeah.
and finding something
Right.
like they always do.
This is why I hate the Eagles.
We still don't like.
Yeah.
Do you love your team now?
Yeah.
Do you love your team now?
Right.
You should.
So let's watch Stephen A. Smith's reaction to Megyn Kelly and this whole thing.
I like Megyn Kelly. I think she's an outstanding journalist. I think she's very capable. She's got a show on Sirius XM every weekday from 12 to 2 p.m. Re-airs on YouTube and other platforms. I've been a guest on her show. I'm scheduled to be a guest. Samacha, I don't even know when's my next guest appearance. I mean, she asked me to be a guest next week.
Because you see that? You see that poll?
Do you think the Eagles
Should
should?
visit the White House. Should go to the White House.
45% says yes.
55% say no.
Yeah, but is it real?
Yeah, this is. I guess he did this poll on his Twitter account.
Well, probably a lot of
His
you
fan
know,
base. Yeah, but it's just funny, like that people don't want people to go to the White House. Like it's so ridiculous.
It's an honor.
Like we said, TDS.
TDS, baby. You know what it is.
We had a scheduling conflict coming back from the Super Bowl. I am a fan of Megyn Kelly's. Was that necessary, though? I mean, really? You know, they ain't feeling Trump. So what? 74 million plus people wasn't feeling Trump. F them too? Come on, Megyn. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You know? I mean, it's just not necessary. Eagles ain't feeling them. And by the way, if there is any team that's justified not to go to the White House to see Trump, even though his team said, the White House said they didn't extend an invitation. Now, that's a different story. Well, why wouldn't you extend an invitation? That's what usually is supposed to happen. When you win the Super Bowl, the White House extends you an invitation. Why would you not extend the invitation, White House? What's that about? But in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles, Megyn Kelly and all you folks on the right
Time
that
out,
want to
time
be up and
The White House is too busy finding all this fraud.
They're doing a
Dude,
lot of work
this-
right now.
This is they're doing real life.
Yeah,
They're handling real business.
yeah. Him bringing the Eagles there is not at the top of the priority list right about now. But even this I wonder what he thinks about this whole take now, because all of that was nothing.
Yeah.
arms about this. Excuse me, if any team was justified in not wanting to show up to the White House, it would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you know why?
Why,
Because
Steve?
when has a president openly rooted against the team for the Super Bowl?
He technically didn't.
He didn't root for the other team.
It's like Patrick Mahomes has been pretty much the king
Right.
of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And he's hard to beat in his Kansas City Chiefs.
that's all he
You know,
said, though.
Yeah,
He's
he said
hard to
it's
beat.
hard. It's hard to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was openly rooting against the Eagles. And he uninvited them last time they won. I mean, damn. If any
Because
team
they declined.
Yeah,
was justified in saying, nah, we'll pass on the White House, it would be them. And Megyn Kelly, if it's going to be F the Eagles, could it come from someone other than you? I mean, you're great.
He's so.
I'm not
character.
going to lie. I learned some things from watching Megyn Kelly. I mean, she knows her stuff. And she's very compelling and very interesting. I enjoy talking to her. I enjoy listening to her.
so there's her tweet. Go F yourselves, Eagles. My husband is a fan, so I got on board, but F this BS.
I mean,
Yeah. And look who tweeted out that the Eagles declined it. Toxic Cowboy.
who's that?
Probably a Cowboys fan.
I enjoy watching her. But was that necessary? Don't let people bring you down.
Okay, we get it. Yeah, so this was the whole controversy around the Eagles, and it ended up being fake.
Fake.
The whole thing ended up being fake.
Yo, the internet is crazy.
It is crazy, man.
It's crazy.
And journalists will just report on it as if it's real.
No, she's a journalist.
But I'm saying even like sports journalists were reporting,
Yeah.
you know.
That's why I thought like it seemed real.
Yeah.
I guess, Juicy Smoulier seemed real too to some people.
I mean, if you Juicy seemed real if you wanted it to be real,
Right.
just like the Eagles thing, right?
Yeah.
People that hate Trump jumped
my-
all over it,
Jumped all over.
and people that hate the Eagles jumped all over ready to bash them. I
Yeah.
think because a lot of people do hate the Eagles. It's
Yes.
weird, like people hate the Eagles and because of they hate the
fans.
Eagles fans.
Yes.
So they root against the Eagles because they feel like Eagles fans have a chip on their shoulder, which they do. They
Yeah.
do in a lot
The
of
city
sense.
has had a chip
Yeah.
on their shoulder.
And my 88-year-old aunt loves Trump.
Right.
But she watches NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC.
So she just
Why?
gets herself
And then-
mad all day.
Yes. And then she says, well, why are they saying that Trump? I said, they're lying. She's like getting upset because they're saying this about Trump. I said, they're lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
She watches it to get
Yes.
mad.
She just watches it to just get herself mad.
Yeah, she gets mad. And I'm like, I don't know why you keep watching it. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just
So-
want to say, go Birds.
Go Birds. All right. So speaking of like the things that it's actually going on. Like we've been finding out more and more and more from DOGE and what they've been uncovering. And of course, like the leftist media, the Mockingbird media, their whole mission is just to demonize DOGE, make it seem like they're trying to steal your information. They're trying to, Elon Musk wants access to your money. He's trying to get rich, the richest guy in the world. Wants your $15 you have in your bank account. Like it doesn't make any sense. But this was another media hoax that I saw this week trying to demonize Elon Musk because, he's been like making the rounds with his son. Like he did the video with his son in the White House.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw this. So this video went viral where people were showing, he was talking on stage. He had his son with him on stage and someone caught this angle and they said, wow, look at how Elon Musk really cares, really feels about his son. So let's watch this.
We don't have too many, but that one is a good one. No, I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago.
You're leaving a little boy.
And I thought it was a question on the phone.
So it appears that Elon Musk walks off stage, leaves his son, totally disregards his son, walks off and heads off into the arena and doesn't care about his son. So you see all the tweets, everyone saying like, this is despicable. He just uses him as a prop. He doesn't care about his kids. I mean, and to be frank, Elon Musk does have a reputation. I mean, he's got all these kids with all these different women and he doesn't really value being a family structure in those ways. But, they ran with this trying to demonize him as, an evil man who's just using his son as a prop.
Right. Right.
So now let me show you the actual clip because that is the
I
edited
knew there was
version.
another angle because it looked like,
Unbelievable.
Yes.
it panned away.
So this is what actually happened. He was on stage with his son, you see, together. And his son took off the other way and he said, no, come this way.
Geniuses, because we don't have too many, but that one is a good one. No, I watched this rocket come down.
Now watch, he looks back and he's like, oh, he's not following me. He comes back to get him.
Somebody on the road, by the way, same thing happened yesterday.
Like,
You got to feel a little dumb to be fooled,
bro, I
Bye.
saw so many high profile Twitter, X accounts, whatever you want to call them, just going in, spreading that clip around like this is proof that Elon Musk is a horrible human being.
They're going to do everything they can to make him and Trump look horrible.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and the reason why they're doing that,
Our
why?
taxpayer money probably goes to some little, room somewhere with some tech nerds. How do we get this viral?
But the reason why they're doing that is because they're uncovering massive amounts of waste, fraud, a bunch of stuff going on with our taxpayer dollars. And they talked about setting up the DOGE dividend that would take a fraction of that money and then pay it back to the American people. I saw a bunch of people trying to bash this concept, talking about inflation, which doesn't make sense to me because you can't make inflation off of money that was already paid in taxes. They're not printing money.
Yeah.
It like they did with the stimulus checks.
That's money. That's our money.
It's money that we already paid.
We
in
paid into it.
that they've discovered.
Yeah.
And are going to give back to people.
But you don't want $5,000 though. That's nothing.
Really? Who said that?
That's nothing.
Who said that?
What's her name?
Pull this up, Mom.
What's her name?
That's what I got ready to go.
Jasmine Crockett, whatever.
One of the most. I think she has taken the crown from AOC for like.
I think so.
Most annoying and
this?
low IQ Congress women.
Yeah.
Who is that?
This is Jasmine Crockett. She is in the Congress. Somehow she got voted into Congress. And this is what she had to say about the DOGE dividend.
Why does it seem like they're propping her up though? She's not. You guys are making a bad business decision, Democrats.
What do you think? Why do you think they're propping her up?
Bro.
Same reason they
She
propped
can't
up
even
AOC.
answer. She went on to Breakfast Club.
I got that
You know what I'm
clip too.
saying? Like,
I
come
got
on.
that clip too. So let's watch what she said. They asked her about the DOGE dividend, giving $5,000 to the American people. This is what she said.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
My girl.
$5,000 will put a roof on my.
The U.S. taxpayer.
Oh my God.
You are in need of a roof right now.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That would help out.
And how is she going to say that?
That can be life changing.
Well, how is she going to say something like that? Idiot. Plus, not only that, people are believing her that are idiots too. And then she's saying the 1,200 has nothing to do with what Trump is doing.
Yeah.
Trump was president, right?
Yeah, he was president.
The president have to sign off on it,
Remember,
right?
he made a whole thing about his name had to be on the check.
Okay. This is somebody who's in Congress.
Bro, she said
This is wild.
She said out of her mouth, "We are not in the business of giving out money."
What
Tell that to all the people that have been watching y'all give money to Ukraine, that have been watching y'all give money to all these migrants, putting them up in hotels, spending $60 million, the $25 million debit card package that y'all did in New York, the Chicago hotels, all of the money that y'all been wasting, giving out money to people that has nothing to do with the
trans
American
shows
people.
in South America, condoms in Gaza and whatever other country.
All y'all do is
That's
give
the
out
bill-
money. And
that's-
let's talk about the fact that she has a net worth of, I believe, $20 million. And she's
That's what I'm saying. 5,000 is nothing to her.
right.
But how about all the people that are in need?
Exactly.
Like a roof?
$5,000 can change a family's life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It really can. The normal family.
But the fact that she says that shows you how out of touch she is
Yeah.
with the people.
Like most of what I don't know what the percentage is, but I know it's high as heck. People live paycheck to
Yeah.
paycheck in this country.
Yep.
$5,000. Can you imagine that? Like, come on, man. Wake up, y'all.
Yep. And I'm going to play this clip. Don't pull it up, Mom, because it's the Breakfast Club, but this is her on the Breakfast Club. Mom was talking about it, and Charlamagne actually challenged her about it. And watch what she says.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government, though.
I'm not going to say that there's a lot. I'm going to say that it does exist. I'm going to say that it exists. I don't think that there's a lot. I think
So why are we so in debt then?
we're in debt because we decide that we're going to reduce the income.
There is a lot.
What are
What's-
you
what does that
talking
mean?
about?
Oh my God.
What does that mean?
What are you talking about?
She's
I
just
wouldn't say
talking.
that there's a lot. They've already uncovered almost $100 billion. and it's only been how long? Not even 2 months? 5 weeks that he's been in office, they've already uncovered almost
I
$100
wouldn't
billion.
say a lot.
Well, she's just here to confuse the people. She's here to make people think that what she's saying is the truth when it's a lie. But people do believe that stuff. That's a sad
Don't
thing
listen to
about
her, y'all.
it. Yeah.
Don't listen to her.
She's the one that got into that fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene when Marjorie said,
that
remember
was-
in Congress when she was
Yes.
like, you can't see the bill through your lashes?
Yeah.
She's the one with the lashes.
Who said that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene said that to her. And then
she had the lashes.
and then
like this?
yeah, that's how she has the lash. And then she made the comeback with calling her a butch body,
Oh, yeah,
bleach
butch body,
blonde.
Oh,
Yeah, and it turned into a ratchet mess. So they're calling her the ratchet Congress member. But yeah, so she is on the Breakfast Club just lying about everything. There's not a lot of waste, and even Charlamagne is like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You know. So let's listen to Ilhan Omar's take on this. You can bring this one up because she has been one of the main ones
I heard she
losing their
got-
mind.
I heard she got fired or something happened to her.
She got removed from her committee
yeah.
that she was on. Yes.
A committee.
Yes.
Yeah. it
She
was
didn't get fired. You can't get fired from Congress. You got to get unelected.
She needs to be removed, period.
Yeah. Well, this is another example of, Barack Obama is the one that signed that thing to bring all these Somalians to Minnesota. And they the ones that elected her because she's a Somalian refugee. So, of course, they're going to elect people that serve their interests.
I just have to say something real quick.
What?
I saw a video and it was so hysterical. They were talking about Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
How she's a lookalike of James Brown. And they were talking about her hair and
That's a
everything.
disrespect to the legend.
No,
Yeah.
That's true for him.
Yeah. Don't ever disrespect James Brown like that. Let's listen to Ilhan Omar talk nonsense.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm
She's talking about the American people, by the way.
What?
Let's rewind that.
American people
out
that
of our
support
country.
Trump.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
out of our
This is what
country.
she says.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
So everyone who voted for Trump, which is majority of the country,
Yes.
clearly, are idiots. And she is smarter than all of them. And this is why I tell people, I reposted this and I said, this is why they think they're better than all of us. They think they're better than you. They think they are smarter than you. They think they know what's best for you. And you're just an idiot.
But she's in our country.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking like that.
You live.
Shut
You
the
live
heck
in.
She
a- you
married
live in
her
a-
brother.
Yes. You live in a country that you're able to
Say that.
say stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
we live in a country where we can support and say what we want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you do that where you come from?
That's why you're
That's
here.
why you are here. And you married your brother
To bring him
get-
here.
To bring him here.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners do that.
Violating our immigration laws.
Yes.
Which they're telling, what's his name, to look into.
Cash.
No, Holman. David Rodriguez says 6 out of 10 people live paycheck to paycheck in the USA. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the narrative started going around. I saw a bunch of articles and I saw a bunch of news pundits talking about how Trump's policies are very unpopular with the American people. Here's an article from The Nation. Trump is unpopular, so are the do-nothing Democrats. Presidency is increasingly hated, but so is an opposition party that fails to oppose. So they're trying to say that everyone hates Trump's policies. They don't like what he's doing. But when you look at the actual polls that just came out, when you look at the polls, first of all, Trump's approval ratings are higher than they've ever been.
Pretty high, yeah.
They're higher than they've ever been. So he's got a net positive approval rating right now. You know, even though it's still considerably low, but it's still higher than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And that's different for Trump. But so this poll right here is about supporting or opposing Trump's policies, right? So let's go through these. First of all, you see the first one, right? 81% of people polled support this. And you're talking about
the blue is support.
Yeah, so it's Democrats, Republicans, and independents, and they show it on the right side, the breakdown, right? So supporting immigrants, the people who support or oppose these particular things, deporting immigrants who are here illegally and have committed crimes. 81% of people support this.
Oh.
19% of people, crazies, oppose this. And when you look at it, it's 70% Democrat, 92% of the GOP, and 80% of independents. So overwhelmingly, the mass majority, if not all of the American people, are with that policy.
Yeah.
Deporting illegal immigrants that have been here committing crimes. Let's look at the next one. Undertaking a full-scale effort to find and eliminate fraud and waste in the government expenditures. Oh, that sounds like DOGE to me. This is the next highest percentage of approval. 76% of Americans, as opposed to 24%. And I would need to know who are these 24% of people that do not want to know how the government is. Who are these people? It's all the people that live in D.C. and work in Congress. Yeah. Like, and if you look at it, even along party lines, of course, 90% of the GOP, but even 62% of Democrats approve of this.
As they should.
As they should. Because it doesn't make any sense to oppose that. You have to be insane. Next, closing the border with added security and police that discourage illegal crossings. 76% again, 24%. Same thing. Banning men who have undergone operations and hormones to become women from girls' sports. Okay, the thing that they tell us no one cares about. The thing that they tell us the GOP, the conservatives care too much about. 69% to 31%. Even 50% of Democrats are against this. Okay. And this is why they keep losing, because they refuse to recognize this fact. They refuse. They keep standing on the fact that it's not a problem. Next is declaring that there are only two genders. And that's right around the same, 65 to 35%. So these are all the things that are the news media is trying to tell you that Trump is pissing people off about it. And if you go on TikTok, you see all these people spazzing out about it.
Yeah.
But
the loud minority.
These are hugely popular policies that people are supporting, even Democrats. Freezing, reevaluating all foreign expenditures and the departments that handle them. 63% of Americans support that. Placing reciprocal tariffs on countries that have tariffs on U.S. goods. 61% of Americans support that. Cutting government expenditures that were already allocated by Congress. 59%.
That part, the tariffs part, only makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have any tariffs on them, but we're not allowed to sell.
We can't sell
our
to them.
stuff in their country,
but they can sell to us.
Sell to us. What's fair?
Exactly.
If you put tariffs on us, we should be able to put tariffs on you guys. And people.
You want to know what the only thing that is on this chart right here that does not have a majority support for President Trump?
Who? What is it? I can't see.
I know you can't see. That's why I'm just going to tell you, but it's funny because it's like literally one of the trolling ones. renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That is the one that people are against. I'm gonna try to.
I don't know why they're so bad at that.
Because, man, they have to be. Here, I'm gonna change the view, Mom, so that it's a little bit better. Let me go back here. There we go. Now you can see it, right?
39%.
Yeah, 39%. But even 39, almost 40% of people are still like, yeah, let's rename it to Gulf of America.
It's already renamed.
Yeah. And then there's some more charts here. So a Harvard Caps Harris poll, 66% say Democrats should take a wait and see approach to Trump's actions. 66%. And these are all Americans. 66% say Democrats should join the mission to cut government waste. 52% say Democrats deliberately kept the border open for illegal aliens.
That's more than half.
70% say hiring should be based on merit and objective evaluation. I mean, the party of common sense, right?
Yeah.
67% says the U.S. debt is unsustainable. 83% say the government should balance the budget. 69% support cutting $1 trillion in government spending. 77% support a full review of all government spending. 72% support a government agency focused on efficiency, a.k.a. DOGE. So you're telling me that the only people, I mean, because literally this is 70 to 80 to 90%. The only people that are opposing all of this are the members of Congress, the people that are stealing our money, the people that are setting up the all this USAID funding and all this stuff. They're the ones that are throwing a fit. The vast, vast, vast majority of the American people, based on a poll that they just did, support all of these policies. So don't listen when the media is telling you that people aren't supporting this. They are. People are for what DOGE is doing right now, what Elon Musk is doing right now. Everyone is okay with this because we want to know how our government is robbing us. We want to know what they're doing with our money. We want to know how we can get more money in our pockets and less money to transgender operas in Colombia.
Yeah. It should be. Government should be transparent. You should know to the penny where the money is going to.
Yeah. New poll absolutely devastating the Dems. DOGE is extremely popular by huge margins. They screeched about it for weeks on every show and publication, but the American people don't fall for it. Just show how irrelevant the media and leftist talking heads are. And we're seeing that more and more. I don't know if you guys have been seeing what's going on with MSNBC, all the firings going on. They're not
all the crying.
Yes. the yummy tears. Isn't it interesting though? As soon as USAID, because we used to say this, like, no one's watching these shows. How do they have the budget to keep paying these people their crazy salaries?
Yeah, I don't know. I try to
talk about The View.
Yeah, I try to rationalize it in my head because when we do travel, I see it on the TVs.
Yeah,
all the time, and in my head, I don't know if it's true. I always said that's where they're getting all their ratings.
That is where they get the false ratings, but that doesn't secure them funding, right? So like how are they getting the money
from us?
That's what I'm saying. So now all of a sudden that USAID was shut down,
and
they're firing all these
where
people.
You're linking it. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so now all of a sudden they don't have the money to pay Joy Reid anymore. Isn't that interesting?
It's racist. They let her go. She's the black one being let go.
Did Rachel Maddow
Rachel
Did you see that?
Yeah,
she said that. All right, let's keep going on this show.
Brendan said, "Hey guys, how's it going? How many of those gold cards are you gonna sell? You getting a gold card?
I don't need to get one. What do I need one for?
No, I'm talking about Brendan.
Yeah, you need to get one.
I'm already a citizen, buddy.
$5 million for one of those, right?
I didn't know if that was like AI.
No, that's real.
$5 million to bring.
So there's already what's called an EB-5 card, which is essentially the same thing. And all governments do this, where like people can, because what it does is you're investing into the country, so you're showing that you're willing to invest capital to become a citizen. So it puts some stake in the game for you. All countries do this, where if you have a certain amount of money, you get citizenship on the spot. You know, I mean, I understand that, but so I don't understand. I don't know,
especially if you are, a rich businessman. You're bringing your business here, your warehouse or whatever.
You're gonna bring jobs. You're gonna bring all kinds of stuff.
Build the economy in wherever town that you're building it.
Right. So let's look at something else that DOGE uncovered. Right here, I have it up on the screen. From James Jeanette on X said, "Are you ready to have your mind blown? USAID has given a total of, wait for it, $164,749,304.99 to terrorist-linked organizations." 165 million. Thank goodness DOGE came along and discovered all of this insanity. And then they have the breakdown here. So
it's still not enough though. That's just an Excel sheet. Is that real, Jamie?
I know. That's what they're saying in the news, right?
Yeah, yep.
Like, we need transparency from DOGE. They've been releasing everything they've been finding. Yeah, but that's just data. That's just numbers on a sheet. Like, what do you want from them?
But the point is, why are they so upset about it?
They don't want us to
I
know.
know,
because they have Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
Anything Trump does is bad.
That's crazy.
Uncovering that they've given $165 million to known terrorist organizations. Look, Karma Muslim Women Lawyers for Human Rights.
Yo, bro, I saw a video. Of this white lady teaching an art class to an Afghan, like a bunch of Afghan women, and the you know how weird art is, right?
Yes.
And she unveiled it, and it was a toilet, and the look on these Muslim women's faces, like, what?
What was the point of it?
It's art.
Okay.
It's art. It was like a toilet decorated somehow. It's like,
wow.
That's what we're wasting our money on. Teaching art to women who don't care about it.
Yeah.
But this is really good because people are going to start seeing that Trump is only helping, not hurting. And the ones that don't want to see it are crazy. Sorry.
I mean, listen, I think you're getting people that had Trump derangement syndrome already for a long time that are starting to see, like, wait, this is getting crazy. Yeah. Like, even Charlemagne pushing back on Jasmine Crockett like that. Like, he's seeing some stuff that's not adding up. You know,
he still pushed. I saw a clip about him and Schultz kind of going at it about Elon.
Yeah,
he's kind of pushing back a little bit. Like,
of course, because he's still in that club. He's still like in the Kamala club. You know what I mean? But I do see him because he does say a lot of things on their podcast that, like, against the Democrats.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Yes, Mom.
Since I don't watch NBC, CBN, CNN,
yes.
MSNBC, are they speaking about all this?
No, they're speaking about it the same way you saw Jasmine Crockett talk about.
But that's a shame because it's really going on and people don't know the truth.
Yeah.
The elderly, the people that are watching all those things, they don't know really that.
But that's why
they're telling lies too. They're saying, he's cutting
Social Security, Medicaid.
Yeah, you know how many times I've heard people tell me
that's just totally not true at all.
It's just not true. Your Social Security is getting cut. oh, they're giving away your tax information.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Your social security number is going to be out there. Like, stop it. You don't think they already have access to all of your information?
You don't think Elon Musk the guy who owned PayPal had your information already and could tap your bank account? Come on,
stop it. This old
It's
lady,
not-
I told you guys about this old lady in the gym that can't stand Trump. She came up to me the other day and she was pointing in my face saying, your social security is going to be cut. And I just looked at her, right? I said, man, you're angry. I'm not angry. And she was
So, Mom, instead of them, in reality, though, what did they find out about Social Security? We talked about it last week. Did you see that?
No.
They
don't remember.
they uncovered that there's people that are 300
Oh,
years
yeah.
old.
Oh, yeah, that I, yeah,
300,
that,
200,
200, all 150 years old.
Older than our
Still
nation.
So that's taken away from
us.
y'all
Yeah, I
that
know.
really paid into Social Security.
yeah.
That they say, oh, we don't have the money.
That's why we only get a 2% raise.
Right.
Every year.
Because
cost of living raise. 2%.
Because there's thousands of people that are dead still collecting checks.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, I didn't have you on there.
No, it's all good. So I wanted to show this. So DOGE tweeted out that let's balance the budget. DOGE total estimated savings are $65 billion, which is a combination of fraud, detection, deletion, contract lease cancellation, contract lease renegotiation, asset sales, grant cancellations, workforce reductions, programmatic changes, and regulatory savings. So, like I said, amongst everything that they've been finding, and it's only been 5 weeks, they're already at $65 billion in savings for the American people.
Clap.
When are they going to Fort Knox?
I know.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah, me too.
You know, there's
That's
a
why
lot
I
of,
asked y'all. I was like, has anything transpired? I haven't heard anything.
they haven't talked about it, but you know, they did say that they were gonna go and live stream it, and the only thing I'm worried about is if they go to Fort Knox
and there's no gold,
it's not what they said it was, and then the price of gold just plummets.
Oh man,
it's gonna be a hurt piece, right?
I think I hear, is James on there? James, you on? Okay, let me bring you on the screen.
What's up, James?
Hey, James. I'm okay.
We're over here talking about how much money Doge and Elon has been saving us.
Oh, go ahead.
$65 billion, James.
So far.
So far. And it's only been 5 weeks.
Well, the rabbit hole.
There he is. There he is.
The rabbit hole is going to be deeper, deeper, deeper.
Of course.
I should have worn my black Trump hat.
All right, you're in there, James.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
What's up, man?
What?
All right, we got you in. Let me see. Let's go here. Boom.
David said he needs some of them 300-year-old checks from Elon.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should all be angry for what they've done. How much money they've stolen from us is just unbelievable.
Lisa said this, then silver will rise. Yeah, silver will go up. But, you know, it is going to be, they're going to have a lot to answer for if there's no gold in that Fort Knox.
Is it gonna affect the dollar?
It would affect the dollar.
How bad? I'm not an expertise on that.
Yeah. I mean,
if
I don't know.
They went in there and it was just cobwebs.
I don't know how it would affect the dollar, but it has to at some point. And then you figure with BRICS and everything that they're trying to have an actual gold-backed currency. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be devastating. So you don't know if that's gonna change their mind on actually live streaming it. I hope it doesn't, because we need to know what's going on.
Well, how crazy is that they haven't checked since 1974?
Isn't that insane?
That is just so crazy. Like,
They haven't been audited since 1974.
and nobody has even thought of it. Like,
They probably did, but there's they probably did some finagling and
Go ahead, James.
No, I was gonna say, unless they were told not to. I mean, at some point in time, we have to say, is it incompetency, or is it that people are being told not to do something? You know what I'm saying?
I think it has a lot to
Because
do with that.
yeah, I think that's what it is. Because sometimes we have accepted mediocrity for so long that we just think it's, oh, they haven't done this. But what we're not looking at is the systems that are in place for them not to look into, especially the loss of money, because they know if you investigate it, it'll tie right back to money laundering and just flat out stealing, theft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And there's going to be a lot of people that are
Excuse me.
complicit in our government, and that's why you
There's
see
a ton
them.
of people.
Yeah, that's why you see them
Mhm.
going out there losing their minds, trying to put a stop to this, and
Of
trying to make
course,
you feel
of
like
course.
Elon Musk is some kind of devil, which
Mhm.
he's not. He's not an innocent man by any stretch. I don't know if you guys been following the drama with him and that new baby mama.
No.
That conservative woman who it seems like she, from the people have like leaked text messages and stuff like that. It seems like she targeted him to trap him with a baby. But you're talking about a guy who has multiple baby mamas. He's not a conservative man by any stretch. He's just a businessman that aligns more with Trump and has certain ideas that will work for what we need to happen in the government, like the way he handled X. He's taking that same approach with the government. So I think that's where people, the conservative movement, and anytime someone like decides to support Trump, people just start to idolize these characters like an Elon Musk and put them up on this pedestal like they're this bastion of morality, and he's not that. He's not that at all.
No,
Same
no,
thing
not
with
at all.
Trump.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I think that's what people are missing. I think that, what, to me, the reason people are panicking is because one question is going to lead to 10 more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's no straight, clear-cut answer. And a lot of these people, part of the promise, I feel, especially in the shadow government, because this is what this is. It's a shadow government that you get in, and you're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna be rich, but they're gonna corrupt you, and you're gonna get tied into money laundering. You're gonna live very wealthy, but they're gonna get things on you that if you speak out, you're gonna get killed, or you're gonna get destroyed financially, or your reputation is gonna get. They understand fully what they're getting into, and they're
Sounds like
panicking.
it sounds like what they've been doing with Trump and been doing with Elon, been doing with Tulsi, been doing with RFK.
Right.
They're not in
Which is why
that shadow government. That's why people align with them. You know what I mean? Like that's why people voted for Trump, and because they campaigned on
the
go ahead.
And the establishment, not just Democrats, but Republican, the establishment parties, they're tied into a system where no matter what, we're gonna stay loyal to each other. We're gonna bash each other when it comes to political season, but the everyday task of being in office comes with a certain level of secretism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we know what we're doing, but we're all gonna live this very premium life, but we're gonna scream to the American public that the other side is robbing you while we're doing it too. And the reason they're panicking when it comes to these this new age politician or this new age political movement is they're afraid that these guys haven't been vetted. They're not part of a club. They're not part of the insider club. They haven't paid their dues. And so they're worried that these guys haven't been vetted by an elite system to make sure that they wouldn't talk or they wouldn't tell or they wouldn't throw people under the bus. That's what they're worried about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We found out, especially through the Jeffrey Epstein case and all of these things, and through a lot of other things in our government, we found out that it is a club that you have to be hazed into and
That's
almost
it.
put in your place where it's like you're gonna have to play ball if you want to get anywhere.
Yes.
And
if you don't, they're
You nailed it.
right.
That's
and,
it.
and if you're an outsider trying to come in, we're gonna squash you because we have access to all the media, we have access to all the resources. We have two parties, the RNC, the DNC. We control who they fund. So we'll set up somebody to make sure you never get in office again. But when you have a Trump that comes in that has his own money, he's a huge celebrity, he's a wild card. They could not stop him, and that's why they go so hard. And then Elon Musk is the same kind of animal. He's the richest man in the world, and he has these crazy
Which they
ideas.
created.
They did create that, absolutely.
They created
They
it.
loved Elon.
But it turned on them.
Of
It
course.
turned on them.
Well, this goes back to, like I said, like the good old boys, and like I said, when it comes to this system, the good old boy. I know it's a reference to the South, but what it is an allegiance to an ideology that you're going to get rich off the American people, and you're going to peddle a certain type of information. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. And when you have people who have already made their money, they don't care about stock investment. A guy's worth how many billions of dollars? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They don't care about, hey, you're going to get an offshore account, you're going to have a private jet. He's already had that. They're worried about they won't be able to pay him off, buy him off. There's no cash incentive for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so politicians are always for sale. Republicans or Democrats, they're for sale. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's not hyperbole. That's a fact. That's a financial fact. You could go look and see that when they're done their term, both Republicans and Democrats, what do they run to? Corporations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whether it's
And-
weapons manufacturing, but you look at which is Nikki Haley with the Boeing company, or it's
Right.
pharmaceutical companies they passed bills for and got rich,
Right.
and they end up on the boards of those companies. It's all part of the
Sure.
plan.
I know. And no one
money on
asked.
stock.
Wait. You don't have a medical degree, but you're sitting on a pharmaceutical board. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your degree is in law, but you're in a weapons manufacturer. You're sitting on the executive board of a weapons manufacturer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your degree's in political science, but you're sitting on a foreign contractor conglomerate. Like, what's your qualifications? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your qualifications is we buy you, and you
Yeah.
tell people what we want you to tell them. You know what I mean?
And this is your payment at the end of it all. Once we get everything
That's
we
it.
need and you're out of office, now you get to get a cushy job with us for the rest of your life.
And they're paying for access to the White House. They're paying because once it's like winning the Super Bowl, right? Just passed. Once you win a Super Bowl, you're forever a god in that city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We just talked about
you-
that whole fake story
Right.
of the Eagles. I don't know
Did you
if
see
saw
that?
it.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, that's what you're paying for. Once you become a politician, you have access to Washington D.C. and all the insiders, and you have access to that. You're forever, unless you are Tulsi Gabbard or something, or like a RFK. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what they're paying
pushed-
for.
Right. I mean, that's why you get a Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if you saw the clip we just showed of her.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's why you get her.
Yeah, while I was getting ready, I saw it. Mhm.
Yeah, that's why you get her on there talking about there's really no wasteful spending in the. Are you serious? Like
There's some, not a lot.
not a lot. Like it's
Man,
been
get
5
outta
weeks
here,
and they found
girl.
$65 billion.
Yeah, that's just what
Right.
they found.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to
And-
play this clip of the press, one of the press people explaining, because the people in the press room, they're just trying to get them on something, and this DOGE dividend is like throwing them off because they can't give Trump a win of giving people $5,000. So let's watch this quick breakdown.
Well, so Stephen, we're hearing about these DOGE dividend checks that would be 20% back to taxpayers, 20% to pay down the debt, 60% is left. Who gets that?
Well, the way that it works is when you achieve savings, you can either return it to taxpayers, you can return it to our debtors, or it can be cycled into next year's budget, and then it just lowers the overall baseline for next year. So in other words, you can just transfer into the next fiscal window and then lower the overall spending level. And that means that you can achieve a permanent savings that way, and that reduces the deficit.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
See those checks.
Well, this is all going to be worked on through the reconciliation process with Congress that's going underway right now, as you've seen. The Senate's moving a bill. The House is moving a bill. The president has great confidence in both chambers to deliver on his priorities. I would just take this opportunity to note that President Trump has made a historic commitment to the working class of this country to fight for major tax relief and major price relief. And cutting spending, as DOGE is doing, and cutting taxes is the key to delivering on both of those promises, and President Trump is resolutely committed to doing both.
Thank you. And on Ukraine, I guess this is...
Yeah, so I don't know how Democrats can, like, even try to oppose these ideas. Cutting spending and cutting taxes at the same time, and also finding fraud and giving 20% of that. So the $5,000 is only 20% of everything that they're finding. And then they're going to use the rest to bring down the deficit. Because I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, you can't give people money. We need to be focused on the deficit. That's only 20%.
Yeah.
And it's our money.
Yeah.
It's our money that they're finding, that they took, that they're using for nonsense.
For whatever. Yeah. You wouldn't have had that.
Yeah.
You're getting your debt, you're getting your country's debt paid down. And then you're getting money in your pocket. How can you be mad? How can you be mad? And it's gonna, you know, bring the economy up.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Get ready for them to accuse them of taking that money for themselves. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know.
They're already saying that. They're already saying that Elon is just trying to take the money. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, right.
He has enough money. He's got more money than he could spend.
Right.
The sad part is this society, American society, we don't prosecute political officials and people who hold public office the way when they're caught, we don't prosecute them like we would a criminal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like they're given a pass. I'm talking about people who ran for office and said, I will. They set up all these, and you could just walk away and your term is done and be like, it didn't work. My bad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no checks and balances for those people. There's none. You know?
You're right, I agree. Hillary Clinton smashing up, you know, blackberries.
Yeah. It's just
Nobody
and we talked about
went
it.
to jail for that.
Right.
So speaking of checks and balances, guys, there was a huge controversy this week. Well, over the weekend, a huge controversy. A lot of people were very upset, mostly women.
Mostly women.
I see all the videos, all of the responses, all of the lashing out I see all over X is mostly women. When Elon Musk sent out he directed Washington to send out an email.
Genius, bro.
I said the same thing.
Genius. When I saw that, I was like, okay, there's all this fake jobs or whatever like that. People are just sitting,
collecting money. The George Costanza effect. Remember the George Costanza episode from Seinfeld when he was just collecting a check doing no work? You remember that, James?
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
So there's an episode where George Costanza gets this job at this big company, and he's never giving a role. He's never like given duties. So he figures out this way to just like show up and just like BS his way through the day and collect a check every day. And this has become a huge issue with a lot of the federal jobs that are going on. Now, of course, it's not everyone. There's a lot of federal workers that do amazing work and that work very hard. And a lot of times it's because they have to cover the slack of the people that don't do anything because they're just collecting their check, because they know that it's hard to fire a federal worker. They know that once they get those government jobs, they're locked in, and they know that there's not a big oversight. So when you work in the private sector, anybody who has a job in the private sector, any company, what is their bottom line? Profits.
Money. Yep.
Profit margins, shareholders, things like that. If they can't justify your salary, aka Joy Reid, right? You have to either advocate for your job or they have to figure out a way to let people go, Especially like when you see companies get acquired by other organizations, what's the first thing they do? They go in and they see where the waste is and they eliminate jobs. That's essentially what's happening in the government. Twitter did the
Twitter,
same
now
thing,
X.
but Elon is taking that role with the government. The same thing he did. He said he was going to do that. The same thing he did with Twitter, he's doing with the federal government. But the problem with the federal government is there is no need to make profit. It's endless money from tax dollars that come in to pay these workers. So even if people are stealing money, it's never going to be found because
You got all these jobs.
there's no one checking on, like, there's no need to be like, okay, we're losing money here, we're losing money. It doesn't matter because it's just tax money. It's just tax money. It's literally rounding errors.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk comes in and he decides to send out this email. Let's bring it up here. Here, I'll pull it up, Mom, because I want to bring up this view so we can see.
What did you do last week?
So yeah, here's the email here, and it literally says, "What did you do last week? Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your management. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. Deadline is Monday at 11:59 p.m."
Genius, bro.
Yeah, but then they could lie and say they did this and did that.
So here's the thing, Mom. And Elon Musk even admitted this. And he people asked him about that because people were saying like, oh, this is what I did. And they showed like they just asked ChatGPT, what can I tell my boss I did this week? And it gave them 5 bullet points. And Elon even tweeted like, I would accept this. The reason why I sent this out is as a simple, what he said, quote unquote, pulse check to see who was even an actual person.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of people that don't even exist.
Right.
That they're still have on the email rolls, or people that are still collecting checks that don't even have jobs in the government. And on top of that, there's people that haven't checked their emails in years that aren't working. So this was just a way to see who is even doing the bare minimum. Who is even doing the bare minimum to check their emails, to open their emails. And so like, and I have heard the argument, especially from people that I know that were upset about this, because I tweeted this picture out and was like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm all about finding out where the fraud is. Because I know there's a lot of government workers. I've looked into how many all these office buildings that are not occupied, all the remote workers that are not showing, that are not doing anything, that are just stealing our tax dollars. So there's people that were upset about this because, you know, this email was sent out on a Saturday, and they're like, if I worked all week and I don't have access to a computer, I can't answer but the deadline is Monday at 11:59 p.m. And it's literally, and he said, hold on, let me see. Here we go. Here's Elon talking about it right here in a tweet. He says, the email request was utterly trivial, as the standard for passing the test was to type some words and press send. Yet so many failed, even that inane test, urged in on some cases by their managers. Have you ever witnessed such incompetence and contempt for how your taxes are being spent? And he said, makes old Twitter look good. But yeah, it was basically just a test to see if people could comply with the smallest amount of accountability, because in our federal government worker system, there has not been accountability. Because people can get by without ever being checked on by the higher ups. There's no incentive to do it. Because in a lot of cases, and it's not in every field, because there are a lot of VA workers, there are a lot of people that work in the healthcare industry that I understand are swamped and doing a lot of work, but there is a lot of fraud going on in our government worker system that they're trying to weed out and skim the fat on. So
Do you think there was a lot of federal employees that was like, man, who's Elon? I'm not.
And what Monday was that? What date?
it was yesterday.
Your birthday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, my birthday. But the thing was, like, he literally said, this is a less than 5 minute email. If you replied with anything, it would be acceptable. The people that went above and beyond and like showed their worth were the people that he started recommending to their higher ups for promotions. Because this was also an opportunity for the people that were kind of being stuck under higher management, like people that get stuck in the shadows because the higher management will keep them down.
Yeah.
This was a chance for them to show. And he tweeted that out too. They're like, yo, I'm getting a lot of great responses. I'm recommending all these people for promotions. But there's a lot of people that were complaining, like, and to me, it's like anybody that works in the private sector. I know my wife, we talked about this. How many times she gets emails from her boss and they have to lay out, like, what did they do today? What did you do this week? Like, if you can't do that, you don't want any accountability.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just it's privilege, bro. It's babies crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're mad now that they have to go into an office. Because I saw videos of people crying about that. I have to go in the office now.
There's a lot of people that were very upset that they have to go back to work and can't work remotely. There's people that moved to Miami because they were working remotely for so long.
They did that. This reminds me of the Tesla thing.
Yes. He did that with Tesla. He did that with X too.
Yeah.
If you can't show up to the office, that's your resignation.
Yeah. And I remember reading stories about how, they moved, to a totally different state.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Right.
That's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
You were taking advantage. And that's the thing is like, yo, and that's the issue with government workers. And we've all experienced this at the DMV. We've all experienced this at a lot of these government facilities. There's no need for customer service. There's no need for people to take pride in their job. There's no need for people to show up and actually they're just trying to do the bare minimum to collect their paycheck. And there's and for some people that's even not doing anything because there's no one checking up on them.
Yeah.
So you have to do something to set something in place where you can weed those people out. And I thought this email was a great idea.
It was great.
Especially to see, like you said, from the standpoint of we're just doing a pulse check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do understand. Like, to me, I would have sent it in the beginning of the week. So sending it on a Saturday, I wouldn't have done that. I would send it in the beginning of the week and give people ample time so there's no excuses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get
send
that.
Send it on a Monday.
But I understand why. I understand why you send it on a Saturday. I understand that because to me, it's like it should take 30 seconds to respond to that. If you can't send an email in a minute talking about what you did last week, and like the deadline was 12 a.m. pretty much Monday, so you have all of Monday. If you don't want to do it over the weekend because you're off, you have all of Monday.
You got Monday.
You have all of Monday to answer a simple email. Like I don't see the problem with that. I think
you should be going to work on Monday and you're checking your emails over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And the fact that like I know tons of people that work jobs and on their day off they have to answer emails. You know, it's just funny to me that it seems like people that work for federal jobs always are like, yo, I'm not doing nothing outside of what I have to do. Like they don't want to have to do anything. Like,
yeah, federal employees. Lisa Kay said they need to go back to work. She retired from Social Security hearing office in 2021, went back as a contractor last year. They pay those managers big money, and they don't even know how to operate a photocopy machine or printer.
Dude, I saw a video of a dude who still works at one of those government buildings, and he's in there by himself all week. No one shows up. No one shows up. I saw another government building that homeless people had moved into.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
That's
because no one shows up
That's
there.
horrible.
That's the buildings we pay for.
We're paying for
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
We're paying for them.
Light bill, heating, AC.
So, yeah, I understand like how certain workers would feel inconvenienced by that. Like, and I understand what you're saying, James. Like, because not everybody falls under that category. There are a lot of people that work really hard. There are a lot of people that deserve everything they're getting. But if you understand the bigger picture of what they're trying to accomplish, and you say, okay, let me answer this email because I'm tired of covering the slack for all these other people that don't want to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me answer this email real quick because I do my job.
No, I get. Yeah, no, I get it, but I still think like I understand what he wants to do, but I still think sending it in the beginning of the week would be better, in my opinion. I think that would be a better thing. I know it takes 5 minutes, and listen, when people are off, I know it's not that big of a deal, but for some people, they don't want to answer emails. They're just turned off. You know what I mean? So I think giving people the beginning of the week is better than over the weekend. You know, I think that there's certain people who just when they're done, they just want to go home and relax, and they're not tuning that. Do people check the emails and stuff? Sure they do, but not everybody does that, and that's not a typical standard. So I think sending it at the beginning of the week would have been to me a better option, and give people a chance and say, okay, well, this is what we found at the beginning of the week. We're going to put it out, so you have plenty of time.
How long do you think they should have to answer a 5-minute email, though?
Give them a 7 business days, just like anything else. Just like
to answer what you did last week, you need 7 days to answer that email.
No, you don't need 7 days, but I still think that giving people a professional courtesy and saying, okay, you need,
What time?
in the beginning of the week,
it was the deadline. Monday night.
Monday at 12 a.m. basically Tuesday morning was the deadline.
I think that's honestly, I think that's plenty of time.
Even if you didn't see it on Saturday, when you get there Monday morning, you see it, and then you have the entire day.
Most people work. Most people work a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
And YOLO, Friday night,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. You come back Monday morning. If you're working in like an office building or whatever like that.
You see an email, what did you do last week?
The first thing that you do, I know this for a fact, the first thing that you do is you check your email, what's going on.
Right.
And you see that email.
And then you answer that email in 30 seconds.
Yeah, honestly, 10 a.m., people start at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 a.m., maybe noon is enough time for you to answer. That email, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think giving people a whole week to answer a 5 minute at the most email is too much. It's giving them. It's like you're dealing with people with no other private sector job would do that.
You're not writing a. You're not even writing a paper. You're not writing no paper. Where you need to do research.
Right, but well, what people are concerned about too is how is this going to be used against them? So a lot of times with these jobs, you don't know what's going on with as far as like, well, am I doing the right thing? What people are not following his emails to figure out his protocol. So that's why I think people were just pissed off about that. It was more like, well, not everybody's following him to know that he's saying, I would accept anything. People don't know that. They just see an email. You know what I mean? So
because he's not he's not saying that in the email because he wants to see who's going to take the initiative to just answer it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a pulse test, like he said. Like you put that out there just to see who's going to whine about it, who's going to complain or not want to answer it just because it's their day off. Like you gauge a lot about people by their initiative and the way they approach these type of things. And if it's like, okay, you don't want to answer it on your days off, Saturday and Sunday, but he gave you a whole nother 24 hours or,
which should have been a work day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
the ones that didn't answer wasn't a work day.
And it's
so
like
somebody was sitting pretty, boy.
What you mean?
Meaning they wasn't doing nothing, collecting the check.
No, there's a lot of people, and that's what he was saying. Like, there's a lot of the reason why they did this was because there was a lot of people that they can see in the system have not opened an email in years.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, how are you doing anything?
So they knew, you know,
right,
pretty much in advance who was gonna answer.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. That our government wastes that much money.
Let's check one of the reactions from people online.
Bitch. Wait, hold on, y'all. Let me get myself together. I'm about to crash the fuck out. So whereas other government agencies are really like standing up for their fucking employees and things, my agency decides to say, hey, the email is legitimate. Please send 5 bullet points of what you did. You know what I'm gonna send? I did my motherfucking job. That's it. I ain't sending shit else. Y'all are fucking crazy.
Like,
and he probably accepted that.
But that's what I was. Like, he would have. But to me, it's like, yo, that you see the reaction is like, yo, you're crazy for asking me what I did.
Yeah.
There, in no other sector of work could you get away with that.
Yeah. No, you can't.
It's the entitlement of people that are never held accountable. No one checks up on them. Like, in no other sector of work, like you, James, you working for your boss. If he came to you and was like, yo, what'd you get done at this place last week? And you was like, how dare you ask me that? Like,
sir,
I'm not. Like, you couldn't get away with that. You couldn't get away with that. Like,
that's the culture. That's years and years. But there's different fields of like federal work, though. I think that's what people are complaining, because there's some people who are, like you said, diligently working, and then there's the people who work in the government, like in those buildings. That's a different thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
that's a different thing. Like, there's a difference. There's like your federal employee. It's so big that some people are actually physically doing work and physically there, and then there's the federal desk jobs. You know what I mean? Like those. That's a completely different thing. You know what I mean?
There's people that work for the VA, and there's people that. But like I said, even in those fields, there's people there's people that do the bulk of the work, and then there's people that slack off all day. Like John will tell you, and I know, and I've seen a lot of people debating about this on X. I've been watching.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And they're saying like, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, the thing is the people who are actually working hard feel like they're paying the price for the people who are not, and that's where people are upset too. You know what I mean? Like.
But what price are you paying
like,
to answer a quick email? I don't feel like that's even of the people that do their job. Like, sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to answer an email. Like, I don't understand.
So Lisa, they said that she worked at Social Security. She said we are not allowed to access our email from home, or when we're not working. We cannot attend a staff meeting by phone if we were on leave.
Right.
And that's the tight security thing. But what I was talking about the next day,
when you get there on Monday,
which should have been a work day, the first thing that you do if you're,
you check your email.
You check your email to see if there's any communication, if anything is going on,
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're doing.
Exactly.
It depends on what you're doing.
I don't know.
Sometimes you may not be. You may not be checking the email. Sometimes.
No, go ahead.
So it depends on the type of job. Sometimes you're just going to a facility to do whatever. You're not.
Right.
You're not doing that.
And I get that. But I don't know what the extent of this. What do you call this? Taking out the wasteful spending jobs or whatever like that. Who they're sending? Are they sending it to a federal employee that cleans the janitor or whatever like that?
So apparently,
you know what I'm saying?
Most people were like, not everyone.
He's got to answer what he's doing. I mopped I mopped, I sweep.
The janitor probably answered.
Hey, he probably did answer. Well, I mopped it. Like,
I
listen,
guarantee you did.
listen.
I cleaned that empty
I'm
building.
gonna tell you the truth. I have not seen one man make a video. I have not seen it. I have not seen one man complain.
All women.
I mean,
Not even a gay man?
And I'm not saying like,
not
that
even a
men
gay
aren't
man.
complaining, but I'm saying I haven't seen one of them on the news, on CNN.
Yeah, they're not on. They're not on land. They're not online ranting. They're not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing, right? Like with that with starting off with like the cutting back on the, and I agree with that. There's a lot of wasteful spending, especially with federal jobs. But I think starting with the office work and the remote work, starting with that, and then because there's, like you said, like there's different people who work for the VA. That's not the same thing. You know what I mean? There, if you're busy in a hospital facility, you may not be answering emails. You might be tending to patients, or you might be, so it's a different
Yeah.
category. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Versus like, saying, okay, how do you figure out all this remote work? What are people doing? And start off with the managers, like who's holding these people accountable? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Starting off with them, like we got to start off with what's the protocol? What are we doing? Like what is the purpose of this field? And we need to having the employees answer that question. To me, you should start off with the heads of department, like who's running this facility. You know what I'm saying?
I think you got to start, and anyone that owns like big businesses, and like I said, people that take over businesses will tell you have to start from the outside in. Though you have to start with the everyday worker and find out who's dead weight, and then you go to management. You know what I mean? You have to start there because it's easier that way. You can't just you can't always weed out the management first if you don't first eliminate the ones that are just.
But isn't the employees a reflection of the management, though?
Not
isn't,
always.
If
not always.
You're firing all the employees, and you have poor management. You know what I mean? Like, don't you want to find out, like, how did it start? Who's running this?
First you got to stop the bleeding. First you got to stop the bleeding. If you're hemorrhaging a bunch of money and you got to make cuts, you got to stop the bleeding. You got to cut everything you can from the beginning, and then you figure out, okay, where are my holes in my management, and then you start making those adjustments there. And you probably do end up firing everybody there or moving people around or whatever. But first you got to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean?
I'm saying is, no, I get that. But I'm saying is this. So then the employees are paying for the poor management, because if the directive is from the manager and I'm doing what the manager told me, the manager said, hey, don't check your email. Don't worry about coming in. Stay at home. If they're giving me that directive and I get fired for following directions, because sometimes is you come in as an employee, you're just following what you're told. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
so
at the end of the day,
you don't want to upset the app.
But is that job needed? If you're being told by your manager to stay home and collect a check, like that job's not needed.
No. I don't mean stay home and collect a check. I'm saying that sometimes in fields people follow what the directive is of the managers. They get in, and it's a job for them. It's a good pension. Okay. This is what they asked me to do. I'm going to do that, and they're not necessarily coming in with the idea like I'm going to upset the apple cart. So I'm saying it's a better directive to start off with the facilitators of the job versus the employees, because they're paying the price of poor management is what I'm trying to say. It's like I get it, but they're paying the price of that.
We don't know what who they started with. You know what I mean?
They emailed everybody.
Everybody
at the same time.
That's managers included too.
Yeah, everyone's included.
They're not just excluding.
Management.
Management.
Management doesn't get a pass. If management can't say what they did,
do.
If they can't say what they did, then their job is on the chopping block too. But what I'm saying, James, is that like even if people are following the direction of management, there's still tons of areas where people are not doing anything.
Yeah.
And you can't.
No, I agree with that.
But what I'm saying is you can't. What I'm saying is you can't just let those people keep collecting checks. You have to find out where those holes are and plug them while you also address the management. You have to do all of that at the same time. So you can't just say we're going to let that keep going on. We'll check the managers out and
no,
see
they shouldn't. They definitely should.
So you have to
No,
send
I'm
that.
saying that. No, I understand, but because of that, though, like I said, a lot of people get into these jobs because it's a security thing. So they don't. A lot of people won't speak up for change, and necessarily because they don't want to lose. Most people get into these things because it's comfortable. It's part of a union. It's like a good pension.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reason why people don't just come out and say this isn't working. There's a lot of reasons why, but I'm saying good people pay the price of poor management. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so yes, I agree that something needs to be done. I'm saying that a lot of times the people who pay the price of pay the biggest price are the people who are just basically just trying to keep above water, and they're paying the price for poor leadership, and those managers move on. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I just have a heart for the people who are like who they're working hard, and then they're lumped in with everybody else because
But the
it's
thing is,
the system is so
but
broken.
you're not lumped in though. Like you're given an opportunity there to show that no, I'm valuable here. And then at that point,
No. Yeah, but
you're
people don't know that. People are not following Elon Musk to know what his plans are. People just know that
you don't have to
they
be.
don't. They don't.
You don't have to be following like, bro. Any situation where you're given an opportunity to show what you've been doing and what your worth is, you take that. Like it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have to be following Elon Musk to understand
that video that Jamie just showed. She said that her management, her agency,
Yeah.
I think that's the term that she used, told me that's
that
a
email is legitimate. Yeah.
legitimate email, and she chose
Right.
to send the little bit that she sent.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not.
well, that's just
They're not getting thrown, and I don't think
no.
that they're
Yeah, but that's one person who clearly
right.
doesn't like.
But
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
But
give
there are
you.
probably people who.
I'm gonna give you an example, right? At the plant that I work for, the security is, I'm not allowed to check my email, either. So, any incoming email, it has to go through tech.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure a government agency is gonna have to go through tech. So if this email comes through and it's not fish or whatever like that, they're gonna know if it's real or not.
Right.
So they're
Right.
given that opportunity. I don't think but
People said they thought it was fake. They thought it was fake, so they didn't. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, I heard a lot of people say they thought it was fake. They were like, "Oh, I'm not answering that," because people don't. What I'm saying is, people don't get emails on a mass email on a Saturday. Or what I'm saying is, from a Monday, you have plenty of time for the manager to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they had
So
all.
that's
they
what
had all
that's what I'm
Monday.
saying.
They had all.
They had all Monday.
They had all Monday, man.
Yeah, but
Like, bro,
that's not enough time. Like
I think it is. I don't agree with that. I think it's enough time. In any other job, it would be enough time. Like I don't feel like we should be and I understand having a heart for people that do their job, people that feel like they're being made.
But that's
to
what I'm
pay.
saying. But all of a sudden, the people who are actually working, they have to pay the price. They're paying the price of this. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like,
but bro, that's life though, man. Like, even in the private sector, if your company gets bought out and someone comes in, there's gonna be a shakeup. You're gonna have to justify your job. Like, this happens all the time.
How valuable?
I was talking to Liz about this. Like, she's had to do that so many times. It's the fact that like people feel like they're exempt from that because they work for the government and they're getting paid from tax dollars. I don't agree with that. You're not exempt from that. Matter of fact, you should be more accountable. And I think that's the problem. Like, people feel like, well, I shouldn't have to do this. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes. And it's not all the time. But one time, just one email that takes 5 minutes, it just turns into this whole like problem. It's crazy. Like,
I think it's genius.
Because
it weeded out.
Yeah, being doing nothing for years and years and years, and you get one email to have time to answer, and you don't answer it. That's on you.
Well, I mean, even the people that do their job, I'm like, yo, just
answer it.
It takes 2 seconds. She could have anyone could just say, that girl could have just said, I did my job.
Yeah,
and like he said, that would have been acceptable. It was just,
she probably kept her job.
It was just to see who was going to even take the initiative, because sometimes that's all you want to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you want to see. And it's a test. it's a test. Like,
I check my email every Monday morning because things happen during the weekend, that I need to know.
And sometimes you have to respond to.
I do have to respond.
Yeah. I mean that I agree with. Yeah, you definitely have to.
And
You should. Especially if you're in an office setting, you should be checking. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I still think that giving people a week or 7 business days would have been, to me, a better option.
I think that's too lenient. I think people don't need 7 business days to talk about what they
that
did.
might give them too. That might that surprise attack, like 7 business days. All those people that are just it's like a fake email. They're gonna have time. Oh, you gotta answer it. You know what I mean?
I mean, the bottom line is no one lost their job. No one lost their job anyway. They're giving people.
They're never gonna. That like you said, that was a policy. They're not going to. They're unionized. He can't just. You're not gonna just lose. You know what class action lawsuit that would be?
They're already trying to file a class action lawsuit, but it is effective. It was effective.
Yeah.
And listen, they're still saying like,
yeah, but you can't mass. He can't mass lay off all these people. You'd have to figure out who's who's not an employee. It would be a process. It wouldn't be just that.
Yeah,
quick,
it would be.
what I mean?
It would be a process.
So I don't think people have anything to worry about. I think it's more such a difference in the tactics. That's probably what people are offended by.
And I think
what I mean?
I think that's a problem, that people should have something to worry about. They should want to keep their job. They shouldn't be protected in that way where they can do whatever they want and there's nothing that can be done about it. So I'm hoping.
And there's a lot of people who actually are working very hard, and like I said, diligent, and they're doing their job, and they're paying the price for the people who aren't. A lot of times that's what it is. That people are upset because they're paying the price because they don't want to upset the apple cart. There's a thing where people, they get into positions because it's lucrative and it's a good pension, and they don't want to say anything because they don't want to. They're just there to collect and retire. That's it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Especially federal jobs and state jobs. It's hard work, and it's a part of it too is when you get into these systems and you start discovering that speaking out against the way things are done gets you nowhere. A lot of people are like, well, it's the same thing we were talking about cops a long time ago. There's a lot of police officers that are good police officers, but they won't speak out against the ones that are doing bad, especially if they're in an authority position. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe this email would have been a chance to speak your piece and get it to someone that actually would care about it. I think a lot of people have done that because he mentioned that on X about some of the emails.
Right. Yeah, and hopefully he does stand by his word, and if he's going to promote people that actually are doing the right thing, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, he made a recommendation. He made a recommendation.
No, that's what he did at X. He did the same thing. He did the same kind of tactic. He sent an email out. He told people, you have to come to the office or it's going to be your resignation. And then the people that were stuck underneath these high $200,000 salaries that weren't doing nothing, that were doing all the work, ended up getting those jobs because he saw who was actually pulling their weight.
Right, and that's what I was saying. To me, going after the leadership, the management, and finding out how are you running this thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are you managing these? How is jobs being managed federally? What's your qualifications, and how are you making sure that these systems are actually working? You know what I mean?
Right.
The regular employee, a lot of times, like I said, you come into a job and you're just happy to get your paycheck and that's it. Not a lot of people have the incentive that go get it attitude. A lot of people are just there to just, it's a job to them. When they're done, they're done. They're out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a problem though, because a lot of these jobs are public servant jobs, especially you're talking about people that work for the VA, people that are in charge of making sure military veterans have the medical care that they need. And I can tell you firsthand from my brother and from other people that I've seen on X.
Yeah.
I've seen people that are ex-VA workers that talk about how terrible that place is ran and how a lot of those people don't give a crap and they just show up to get their paycheck and they don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? So those people need to be weeded
I agree.
out.
Yeah, I agree. But I think, like I said, like the management, like going out to how is this thing run? Like, you know, like figuring that out. You know what I mean? Like why are we denying these claims, or what are we doing? Like, you know, like
I'm sure they're doing that. I'm sure.
I mean,
it's not. I trust them.
I mean,
listen. They say this.
This is the first time.
This
This is the first time we're seeing anybody even try to do anything to look into these systems. So I'll take that over just allowing it to continue to be the shit show that it's been for the last, you know, however long.
Uncle Denny said they don't want to give them time to scam it out. Pretty much what I said. Probably gave 7 days might be too much time.
So the scammers already said ask ChatGPT what to do.
Yeah, right.
They figured it out a long time ago.
They did, and he said, like, they tweeted
and
him
get right back to doing what they're doing.
They tweeted him and said, "I'm just going to ask ChatGPT," and he said, "That's fine."
I would have taken it.
Let's watch a couple reactions about this.
Okay, so I am a federal employee that got an email this Saturday, basically stating that I needed to highlight 5 accomplishments that I had last week, and to me, that was not a huge deal. I am someone who likes to highlight my accomplishments, and it was sent over in about a email that took me six minutes, something like that. I used to work for the private sector for about 13 years, so I was held accountable every day. I had lists of things that needed to be done every day, and it was just not a big deal to me to send that out. So I just want to say that. I would say highlight the things that you do. Highlight, you know, who you are as a federal employee and the things that you're accomplishing. Like, just say it. I would encourage you to do that.
Let's go. Let's play a few. This is Mike Johnson being asked about it, what he thought.
Musk email calling for workers to be responded by 11:59 tonight. Lisa Murkowski says this is an absurd weekend email. She also said the public workforce needs to be treated with dignity and respect. What do you say to that?
Yeah, the public workforce needs to be treated with dignity and respect, and so do the American taxpayers. You know, in the private sector, where most of us come from, it is not unusual for you to have to fill out weekly reports, routine reports on what you're accomplishing, what you're doing. I don't think it's a crazy concept.
Yeah.
I think it's not a big thing to expect the federal employees to do what we do in the private sector. We're trying to bring those principles to bear on government to make it work more efficiently and effectively for taxpayers in a time when we don't have that many resources. So, look, Elon is going to do what Elon does in DOGE. We're going to codify a lot of these changes so we can make them permanent. But asking people to justify their work, I think, is a reasonable step.
What about
Reasonable. Let's
I think that's a good explanation.
There's this dude is funny. He posted this. He said, "Dear U.S. government workers, last week I worked 63 hours. I drove 2,600 miles. I delivered 130,000 gallons of fuel. See how easy that was?" This dude.
That's only 3 though.
Yeah, that's only 3.
That's only 3.
You need 5
That's
bullet
great
points.
though.
That would have been acceptable. Here's Trump talking about it. They asked him about it when he was with Macron, of course, because, you know, they got to ask him.
Where's
his husband, wife?
Wife.
Yeah.
From more streamlined communications, there was that email telling employees to give 5 things that they've done last week. Agency heads then told people to ignore it.
You're talking about the last email that was sent where he wanted to know what you did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way? I thought it was great. Because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. They're trying to, that's how badly various parts of our government were run by, and especially by this last group. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out who's working for the government are we paying other people that aren't working? And, where is all that? Where's the money going? We have found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud so far.
Yeah, that's the
But
main.
what I'm saying, though is, like, okay, I get this and I think it's a good thing, but I'm saying, who are the people that ran these systems that have employees that are not showing up or non-existent? Like, why are they not being prosecuted? Like, that's what I'm asking. I'm saying this is fine, but I'm saying, who authorized these
But
jobs?
how do you know
Who-
that? How
who's-
do you know they're not though?
Yeah.
How do you know
How do
they're
you
not?
know they're not?
Like, this is just the
I don't
email
know
was
that. I'm asking. I
but
don't
that's
know
what
that
I'm-
they're not. I'm just asking.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm asking.
the email was just sent out on Saturday, so they're still trying to figure out who's who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think all of that needs to be borne out in the way this is being ran, because you have to find out. Okay, you can't say, "Oh, I need to find out why none of Simone's workers even exist," if I don't know that they don't exist. I have to find that out first. You know what I mean?
So
and then I can come to
he's
Simone.
trying to figure out. Right. So he's trying to figure out who these people are and then go after the people who's supposed to be in charge of them.
Well, he's going after everybody, and he's seeing who's doing their job. What did you do last week? If
Yeah.
you're a manager or
Oh,
not.
okay.
So, like, even and then if,
I'm sure they're gonna crack down. Like it's gonna.
Yeah. The point is
the
to get to
cookie
the bottom
crumbs
of
that-
this.
Yeah, the cookie crumbs are gonna. They're gonna follow the cookie crumbs.
Yeah, like I said, just like he did at X, he eliminated all of the waste that was there. There was, I think he got rid of 75% of the workforce there for people to do the same job.
Yeah.
Because there was a ton of people, and most of them were higher up management positions. So you have to, like I said,
I would love to see him go after the management and figure that out. I know the facilitators. I would love to see that.
I mean, that's
You
what
know,
I'm saying. I
because
think
they're probably collecting millions of dollars.
Listen,
you know?
listen. We're probably gonna get a list of agencies that are stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The wheels on the bus go round and round the agency.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think he is. I think they're going after everybody. They're going after everyone who is a federal worker. That's why this email was sent out en masse, because if you have a manager that can't explain their position, and you start finding out that most of the people that work for them aren't even real, or don't answer their emails, or aren't showing up to work, or don't have a real job, then of course now you know who to go after. Now you know who to target. Now you know who to fire, first of all, because we're already paying those people that don't exist. So fire all of those people, get them off the payroll, so our tax dollars aren't going to ghosts. And then you go after the manager who is working, the supervisor or whoever is in charge of those people, and figure out, like, what are you doing? What is your purpose? Like, that's how that works. Like I said, he's already done it with X, so you know that's the method that he's trying to implement with the federal workers themselves.
Yeah.
Here, this guy is breaking down the issue with federal workers not showing up or being in the workforce.
Price tag that the taxpayers pay is right at $271 billion a year. Is it too much to ask for them to verify why they're making an average salary of $106,000 a year?
Why
Do you
are
think
they?
in the private sector that single mom who is working 2 jobs at a restaurant can't justify where she was, or the hygienist at the dentist's office can't verify how many patients they saw? The absurdity and I guess the arrogance of the workers who says that's a heavy lift is what's wrong with that's what the Americans are sick and tired of. It's not their money. We're the ones who are paying the bills. We have a right to know the price.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, when you see that only 6% of federal workers are showing up full time to the office,
That is crazy, man.
like,
That's crazy.
and I understand that a
and
lot,
that was done. That was done through COVID.
Yeah.
That was done through COVID.
yeah, that was
When they
started through
started
that, but
implementing
then
that
they
and
keep
made people stay.
But then they kept it going.
And I get some jobs because I have some friends that have they used to go to the office, but the company itself found out that it's more manageable. They just work from home.
Yeah.
And they cut costs.
Well, actually,
that way.
yeah.
You know.
And that was a good thing too, because I think if they were managing properly, most companies found out that when you work from home, they'll find out who's actually working and who's not working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like like the work from home thing seems like a great thing for people who they don't want to actually be in the office, but it exposes your workload, because there's a lot of times when you're working from home and you're not actually producing. But then there are people who they excelled in by working at home. It was less stress on them driving somewhere. So I think people know, especially the employees, the employees, they know who's actually turning in reports and who's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people even found ways to scam those systems. I don't know if you heard about the mouse mover software that people were using for remote workers.
Yeah, I heard
They're
Yo, they're finding a way to take advantage,
there's
bro.
Liz used to tell me, bro.
How is that legal? How is that legal?
Bro, like, I mean, you could find anything. Liz used to tell
No, I'm
me,
saying, but how is that patent legal to sell a mouse mover? How is that legal?
because it could be
Because that's what the purpose.
it could be for some other purpose, and people repurposed it for that. You know what I mean? Like, it could be
Holy
repurposed
crap!
for something else. So, but Liz would tell me about people that when she worked at a certain company, I just don't even want to say their name. No, it's a retail store. That people and especially during COVID and even after that, were remote workers, but they would be in there all day and be like, have their laptop or like be on a Zoom call, but pretend they're at working, but they're in there shopping. You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
Like, if you own a business, would you want your money going to that? And us as taxpayers, we essentially are the ones paying for that. So it's like, we don't want to.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just think that most of those people have adopted a culture that's been allowed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They allow that to happen. They allow that to happen. I would love to see. I want to see where he goes with this, and to prosecute the people. Really, not just fire them, but prosecute, because then that's stealing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's theft by deception. That's theft by deception. The employees are paying the price, but it's really the upper management that allowed it to happen. You know what I mean? Because if you're not checking on your employees to find out, wait, what have you accomplished? What are you doing? Yes, the employee has a responsibility, but the management and the people who are in charge of them, they owe more responsibility to the taxpayer than the employee does. You know what I mean? Because they're put to manage them.
Like you said, it's the culture of the federal worker system, though, because like I was saying, it's not the private sector, so there's no incentive to the shareholders, no incentive to a profit margin. You literally
no quota, baby.
You have no one to be accountable to.
Yeah.
So the culture of it,
and this has been going on a long time.
Yeah.
This has been going on a long time.
Right. So what? How do you?
You know,
so how else do
COVID,
you have
COVID
to shake
make
it? You have to shake it up in some way. You have to put a stop
No, I
to
get
this.
that.
Yeah. I want to show this clip because
I get that. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
First, just
No, I
tell
was just saying,
us
I know
about this
go ahead.
email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit. And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
How?
Don't you understand how entitled you seem when you say you were infuriated by an email that asked you to talk about what you did last week as a public like that? To me, they don't understand how that appears to everyone who works a regular job. Like, this is not something that is just astronomically asked of you. All the comments were saying, like, she could have answered the email in the time she took to do this interview and set up an interview with CNN and go on there and bitch and complain about it. She could have answered the email already. Like, that's the thing. you're more upset about the fact that someone asked you to be accountable than to just actually do it.
Yeah. What did you do?
She was infuriated. She was infuriated.
The only ones
Yeah, because
infuriated are the ones
the culture that existed.
Yeah, there's the culture is unaccountability, and that has to stop.
And entitlement.
Yeah, like they don't feel like they have anyone to answer to.
Federal workers do have that at any place that I've been to.
They have
whether
that.
it's Social Security, they have that attitude, bro.
Yeah, like they don't want to be there.
DMV.
Yeah, right. TSA agents.
Yes.
Yeah, but so that was like a huge story this week. But one more thing we'll talk about before we wrap up is the White House had the black folks there for Black History Month, and people were very upset about this. I'll just show a little clip real quick of that situation. How dare all these black people show up to support Trump? Yeah. So that was the White House over the weekend for Black History Month, and Pastor Jamal Bryant had something to say about those people that were in there.
Feel bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
Runaway slaves, bro.
Oh my God.
Talking about shucking and jiving. Meanwhile, he was up there with Kamala Harris.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You talking wild, dude.
That's funny because I seen the video. They had his face on a poster type thing.
Yeah.
And he was mad.
What was it? I didn't see that. What was his face on the poster?
It was just him.
No, I'm saying, what were they talking about?
No, they just had him up on the thing to show that he is such a leftist. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he was mad.
That's why he was saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought he was just mad because they were
No,
coons.
they had
coons.
No, because they had his face on a thing, and he was mad about that.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, look for it. It's so funny.
Is that it right there?
He says it came from people inside the White House. Take a look at this video.
Yeah.
From the East Room.
They're gonna have one with
you can
his
see
face.
a group mocking.
Oh, I see it.
Audrey Washington has reaction now from the pastor in Stonecrest.
Right,
That's
and the
why he
video
was
is
mad.
making waves on social media. In the video shows a group of people calling out Dr. Jamal Bryant by name and holding up a picture of him inside the White House. Now Dr. Jamal Bryant is responding, saying he will not be intimidated. A new video causing controversy from the White House in D.C. to the Lord's House in DeKalb County.
They're trolling him. I see. Okay. Yeah. So he's mad about that. He's mad about that. Okay. Well, then at the NAACP Awards, I don't know if you guys saw this. They awarded Kamala Harris some kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award kind of thing.
Okay.
Even though
she lost.
She lost.
You get a trophy.
Gave her an award. And look who gave it to her. Roland Martin. Oh no, that ain't Roland Martin.
He just roly-poly.
He just looked like
he
him.
just roly-poly like Roland.
But they gave
what was the award?
It was some kind of award. I don't know, one of their awards. I don't know. But yeah,
Award for locking
they gave Joy
black people up in California.
They gave Joy Reid an award too.
Oh,
they gave her an award too.
Yo,
Yeah.
that lady, all she does is spew hate, man.
Yep. But then quickly we were reminded. I tweeted this out and I was like, "Oh, I was like, oh, I remember again why she lost so bad." Listen to this clip, Mom, of Kamala. She went to L.A. to talk about the fires at the Palisades, and watch how she does this.
Through your mind when you see this, you're here. You're now seeing it up close.
It's not only seeing it, Alex. You can smell it. You can feel it, right? So it's seeing it with our eyes, and many people have seen it. You all are covering it. But to literally be on the ground here, you can smell the smoke that was here. You can feel the toxicity, frankly, of the environment. You can feel the energy of all of the folks who are still here on the ground.
Yo, she just talks in circles, dude.
So
Don't you guys remember
in
now?
Circles.
Yes.
Come on, James. I know you missed.
Isn't she supposedly going to be a replacement for Gavin Newsom for California or something like that?
She's trying to run for governor. Yeah,
If
of
they-
California.
California vote for
I heard
her,
rumblings of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's a front runner for 2028 now. I don't know if you guys saw that. I saw. Yeah. Let
I
me.
didn't know that, no.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a poll on that. Let me see. I'll pull it up.
What? That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw that, I commented like, "Please run her again.
Oh man.
Please run her again." Let me see.
Tulsi.
Yeah, Justin, Kamala Harris is the Democratic frontrunner for president in 2028, leading the second place candidate Pete Buttigieg by 26 points.
I'm saying Tulsi, huh?
Tulsi what?
For the Republicans?
Man, they running JD Vance. What are you talking about? They gonna run JD.
JD Tulsi.
That would be a good ticket. JD and Tulsi. Yeah, but she's their frontrunner again. This is crazy.
That is dumb. I'm sorry. I mean,
They don't want to win, bro. I don't think they want to win. I don't think everybody that they prop up, the new lady, you know, what's her name again? Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine Crockett.
Crockett.
Yeah.
You guys are propping her up.
Yeah.
You guys don't want to win. You don't listen. You're like these big corporations that don't know what your consumers are.
Yep. Like Bud Light.
Yeah. Bud Light, Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Target.
And they redeemed themselves. Bud Light redeemed themselves.
They did. They listened again. Yeah.
Because they know what the bottom line is.
They got rid of Dylan.
Yeah, now they got Shane Gillis. But can I just watching that clip again and being reminded of Kamala's just ways, bro. Like, can you imagine if she won? No. What position what would we be dealing with right now?
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
She just talks in circles, dude.
She does.
Before you guys,
I see, and you see with your eyes.
Oh my
That's what you
God.
do with your
and
eyes.
then you smell.
Right.
And then you smell, and then
Right.
a toxicity.
You smell with your
Right.
nose.
Oh my God.
And you can feel the energy of the people on the ground.
I want to ask a question.
Yes,
before
Mom.
Before we end this
Yes.
thing, what do you think is going to happen to? This has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but it's just so I was amazed.
Okay.
This African man from Zimbabwe invented
Where's she
a
going
car.
with this?
Wait, no, invented a car that runs on microsonic energy. No fuel, no charging needed. Top speed of 220 miles per hour. Can power your house and all this. What do you think is going to happen to him?
I have no idea. Who
is
it?
Is this real?
Yes, it is. Look, I was going to send it to you.
What's the source?
I've seen it. No, I even saw a video on him, and he was talking about he invented a car that doesn't run on fuel at all.
Where is he from?
Zimbabwe. He's what's his name? Hold on.
What does it run on?
It runs on microsonic energy.
Microsonic energy.
Yeah.
That's
fuel.
That's way above my my brain capacity.
But they were showing him on a video and everything, and I was thinking, wow, this man's gonna be dead.
Don't speak that on him.
Damn, man.
Don't speak that on him.
No, he's gonna be dead because they're gonna kill him. They don't want. They don't want.
They're gonna want to kill him.
Yes.
And he's gonna.
He's about to invent Wakanda. This sound like Black Panther 3. Like I don't know.
Look,
I don't know if this is
what
real,
website
Mom.
did you get that on?
I don't know if this is real, Mom. You can see a video of a guy telling you something. Did they show the car running on this magical?
Yes. Gosh.
I'm looking on the new. Mom, you're just showing me a car driving. That's all you're showing.
No, I'm giving you this so you can look at it. You'll find it. It's in there. It's a video and everything. They have the guy and his name and everything. I just couldn't find the name at the moment.
Let's see. Fact check. Did Zimbabwean inventor Sanguliani Chikwambutsu invent a fuel-free car that's only used on radio frequency? Claim, blah, 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 blah. Verification. To verify the claim, fact check reports. What is it? Where is the... It doesn't say. Conclusion. The findings by PR Nigeria reveal controversies trailing the invention's claims, including the fact that Chikwambutsu's purchased a X3 Pro electric vehicle and fabricated it with. I think this is fake, Mom.
But it says it's.
He bought an electric vehicle and fabricated it.
No, look.
What site did you get it on? That rhymes with Schnoozensnaam?
It's not on a.
Let me see.
Yeah, find it.
See, Mom just want to change the whole subject. We're not even talking about this, and you bringing up something.
Because you said you were almost done, so I said, let me bring that up because I saw that and I was like, this guy's gonna be dead.
It can run indefinitely without charging through its microsonic energy device. This device, he says, converts radio frequencies into usable energy. This guy watched Black Panther.
Vibranium.
Scientific and legal challenges. Acknowledges his invention allegedly violates fundamental laws of physics, specifically the laws of thermodynamics. When attempting to patent the technology, he reports being rejected on the grounds that it violated natural physical laws and lacked industrial applicability. Rather than addressing these scientific concerns, he says he opted to treat the technology as a trade secret. Does
you don't want that to come out?
I don't know, Mom.
If it does exist, they wouldn't want it.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I say he'll be dead.
USA Today. I mean, listen, we don't always trust the news. Their fact check says no evidence that Zimbabwean inventor created a chargeless electric car. Yeah. What does it say? He has become. They question its authenticity. Our rating is false. The claim that Zimbabwe inventor created an electric car that doesn't need to be charged is false. Based on our research, the claim stems from a 2015 event that included a variety of questionable fake inventions. There has been no evidence in the past 5 years that the car was made, and but Mom, even the concept of converting radio frequencies into
energy.
I don't know.
That doesn't.
That would be that would be awesome.
Reported
they would
on
never
the event
want that
later.
to happen because they want to make money.
Yeah,
you know
they do.
So that's why I said, what do you think's going to happen to this man? If it's real, they're going to kill him.
No, you said it was real. We asked you.
Well, even if, I said it was real because I saw the video of him talking in a bit about the cars. He was showing the car. He was showing the motorcycle. He even had a motorcycle without the fuel. He had like a thing on the back of it that he made. I don't know. And they were showing all that.
Self-evidently incorrect. Yeah, everyone's saying that this is fake. I don't trust what everyone says all the time, but I can't find anything aside from this video that you have that looks like he's just driving an electric
No,
car.
that wasn't the only video. There's more. I didn't have a chance to
And
look at
and
it.
and more
he probably got
importantly,
an engine that runs on gas and saying that.
What are you saying,
I
James?
said, and more, I was saying, more importantly, if anybody in Africa discovered any kind of new technology to replace the combustion engine, the Chinese are going to take that immediately
Immediately. Yep.
because the Chinese are all over Africa.
They are. They are. They would not let that get out, and then they will take claim to it. But there again, another problem is he doesn't have any patents for this technology, so
Right. Yeah.
that kind of doesn't it doesn't add up.
Yeah,
because he would have patented it.
We're gonna have to circle back.
Yeah, but
if it's real.
But we appreciate you derailing the whole conversation because I still was going to try to get to Joy Reid's firing.
Go ahead.
Joy Reid got fired.
Oh, I saw that one too. That's the one where she's talking about it.
Yeah, she was crying about it, you know, and people were pointing out that she didn't have any sympathy for the police officers and firefighters that got fired for not taking the COVID vaccine.
Yep.
She was mocking them openly.
And she does that a lot.
And
She's very hateful.
Was talking about she's tired of seeing white tears for everything.
And she has tears.
Yeah. So there was that, and
you mocked the whole, most of the country. Win and go do whatever.
Yeah.
You can't even lose gracefully.
But she's not being fired because because of that. She's being fired because that she's not pulling in the ratings. They can't justify her salary.
Right.
Because Jamie brought up a good point that
what?
Man, I never even thought of that the funding part. I never thought of that, dude.
I was talking about that on here earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. I was saying like it's funny that after USAID gets shut down, a lot of these journalists that you can't really justify their salaries are starting to be fired.
Oh yeah,
because their ratings don't justify their salaries.
Right.
We found out that a lot
that's
of
really what it was.
These places are being funded by those organizations that were set up by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tears.
And it's a propaganda wing, you know what I mean? So they pay them lots of money.
Yeah, exactly. So how else could you justify like even the View salary? Like their viewership doesn't, like Anderson Cooper's salary, Don Lemon, all these people, and then all of a sudden now they're all being let go. It's something fishy about that.
About both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like,
I can't stand her, man.
White men can get away with that too, and it has the same effect.
My show had value, and that that what I was doing had value, and in the end, I try not to cry.
And I don't take joy in anybody's like demise, but she's saying her show had value. The value is in who was watching it.
Yeah.
Like a network decided that they couldn't justify your salary and your show anymore. And then on top of that, like, because they were bragging about how these 30 people worked on her show. This is the staff. 30 people to produce her show. Who like so if they can't justify all paying out your staff,
it's a lot of white guys on the staff, and she's just sitting there just bashing y'all.
That is true.
I wonder if they just sitting there simping.
I wonder if they had a lot of white tears for her being fired.
She's just like, man. I try to watch, sometimes.
Yeah.
What they talk about, and try to see the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of hate, bro.
It's
so
man.
much hate.
Race baiting, hate. Here's the clip of her pretty much laughing at police officers that were
New York
fired.
City announced today that vaccines would be mandated for all city workers with no testing option. That includes police officers, who are currently 69% vaccinated. Their union is already vowing to fight the mandate anyway. It's a pattern that we've seen across the country with police unions and officers coming out against mandates. Seattle's police union called the mandate a public safety crisis, as if vaccines aren't for the public's safety. The city's police and firefighters, who were fired for non-compliance, made a very dramatic exit, marching to City Hall to turn in their boots. And a trooper went as far as to attack Governor Jay Inslee over the radio while claiming that he was being asked to leave because I'm dirty. I mean, no one said not being vaccinated was dirty, but okay then. Then there's the Los Angeles County Sheriff, who said he won't enforce the city's mandate, though there's still a 2-month grace period for employees to get their shots. But there's no place like Chicago, where the union president directly urged officers to ignore the city's mandate, making the prediction that it would lead to a 50% cut in cops on the street. He also threatened that officers could lock in a pension and walk away today. That kind of rhetoric led to a judge's order that he stop making public comments about the city's vaccine policy. Of course, Republicans are taking advantage of the situation in Chicago, with Indiana Senator Mike Braun trying to recruit Chicago officers to Indiana, saying, "You deserve respect. Bring the COVID here." And none other than Jim Jordan mentioned the Chicago police in a tweet, along with Kyrie Irving and parents at school board meetings saying freedom is contagious. You know what's actually contagious? The coronavirus. COVID-19 has caused 64% of all police officer deaths so far this year, more than quadruple the number.
Come on.
You believe the numbers?
Now
Come
we
on,
know
man.
the truth. Cops getting shot in the line of duty. COVID death. But yeah, no sympathy for the police. They were getting fired. And this is another thing that people are bringing up too a lot, is that like people are flipping out over these programs that are getting cut, these DI programs that are getting cut, and people losing their jobs. But there was no sympathy for the people that lost their jobs during this time. They applauded that.
Yeah.
You deserve to lose your job.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't take the vaccine.
Yeah. The thing with the nurses and, you know, the heroes.
Yeah. They were heroes no more.
Heroes.
They were no longer heroes.
Until they refused the jabby jab.
Yeah. Let's show one more clip of Rachel Maddow,
Our favorite
calling
favorite
MSNBC racist for firing Joy Reid.
You still work there, though, lady.
Yeah. She could easily give up her job.
Yeah.
She could, you know, in protest, quit.
Yeah.
Give up her salary.
She
have
ain't
been
doing it.
alive. There is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand.
They didn't let her walk out the door. They fired her. She was fired.
You're fired.
She wasn't making any money.
But that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible.
That's why she said that, because aren't they being replaced with other black people?
I'm not sure about that.
I'm
but
pretty
that's
sure they're
pretty
being
funny if they
replaced
are.
with other black people.
But if she's saying that, I mean, can't they fire her?
I mean, they could. I think she's their number one show, though. I mean, it's sad to say. I don't know who's watching.
Somebody was breaking down the numbers. Her numbers are not that good either.
No, they're not.
Maddow, I think.
No.
I think 100,000, and it was like, that's giving it grace.
Yeah.
Tim Pool gets way more than that. That's why you know those podcasters are killing the game right now.
Yeah. So I saw a bunch of memes. I think I posted one of them where it was saying like Joy Reid loses her job to another white man, and they put her in the shot. It was funny.
You ever see the evolution of Maddow?
Yes.
She was pretty back in the day.
Dude, that's what the left does, man. That's what the left does. Like, look at have you ever seen them put Mark Cuban next to her? They look like the same person.
They say that they're twins, especially when they both wear the glasses.
I was looking at Ryan Reynolds in like the new cricket or what's his mobile company?
I'm not sure.
Whatever his mobile company is, the new ads, like he looks like them.
I think it's Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile, yes, that's it, James. Yeah,
I heard that's really cheap.
So Joy Reid is out, tears everywhere. She's gone. And then Kash Patel is in as FBI director. Well, I'll breeze through this real quick.
Real quick, off subject. You ever notice Kash sounds like Akash?
Yeah.
They sound so similar to me.
Yeah, the way they talk.
Yeah.
They have very.
I wonder if they're from like the same part of.
Well, he's a Patel and he's a Singh. I don't know how that works.
But they sound.
They do sound a lot.
Anyways, off subject.
Yeah. Anyway, but directly after that, the Patriot Front announced that they will be immediately closing down their operations. Remember this group that everybody was like, "Oh, these are right-wing Donald Trump supporters." Remember these guys, James? All of a sudden, after Kash Patel gets in, they're going to be shutting down their organization. And then people are pointing out that they've been talking about releasing the Epstein files. We're waiting for that.
Yeah, it's been.
Pam Bondi said they were on her desk.
It's only been like a week, right?
That's a long time. She said they were on her desk. We want the files.
I've been seeing like conspiracy stuff, how it links to, a Middle East country.
Yeah, I have seen that too. And they don't want to release it because it links back to one of our biggest allies, we'll say. But also, I also heard that an FBI whistleblower came out and said that they were destroying evidence. The FBI was like deleting files, deleting stuff on the servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, FBI personnel busted for destroying server evidence. FBI whistleblower confirms that journalist Michael Schellenberger that the FBI employees were destroying evidence related to Jeffrey Epstein files and JFK assassination. And this is after Kash was confirmed and,
All right, who's going to jail?
Somebody needs to be held accountable. Play this real
There
quick.
are FBI servers that are sort of standalone, and people inside the FBI have been working night and day to destroy files on these servers. And I was told that once these files are destroyed, the way they are set up, that even Elon Musk could not restore them. So that's happening right now as we speak. That's happening with Kash Patel being the director. It was happening before he got there. And so that subversion, like I said, started immediately. And it's only going to continue. These people, here's another example. I was told last week, right out of the gates, Kash Patel came out and said 1,500 people, 500, you're going to Alabama. You're still going to be headquarters personnel. You're going to Alabama. 1,000 of you, you're going out to the field. He said this long before the election even, that he said if he was in charge, he would say, let cops be cops, and so go out and be cops. Already, people are saying, we are not going to comply with that. We are going to make it seem as if we transferred. We're going to do what they call, quote unquote, paper transfers, and we're not going to obey these lawful orders. I don't know if you heard Stephen Miller in the last few days. He came out and has given a great civics lesson on Article 2 of the Constitution. The FBI falls under the executive branch. And you have these career bureaucrats who say, no, we answer to no one. Well, hopefully that's going to change. And I think under Kash Patel and Dan Bongino leadership, I think it will. But they've got to root out this subversion first.
Somebody who works inside of the West Wing came up to us in a private setting when we were in D.C. and said, you would not believe the number of times that my office has to be swept for bugs.
That's crazy.
Inside the White House has to be swept by agencies to figure out if there's electronic monitoring that's happening to us on a daily basis. It's crazy.
Yeah, so there's a huge shakeup happening at the FBI. They're deleting files. It's basically a mutiny. And Kash Patel did just announce that he's launching an investigation into James Comey for spying on the Trump campaign back in 2016. So I think this has a lot to do with it.
He needs it. It's all that stuff is gonna. linked to Shifty Schiff.
I think so. But, I mean, there's so much coming out.
What was his nickname?
Shifty. Pencil neck.
Pencil neck.
Pencil neck.
Pencil neck Adam Schiff.
I think we shared this with each other, but NSA came out and they showed that there was a secret transgender sex chat room exposed with the NSA. Did you see that?
No.
Until employees from NSA, CIA, and DIA used government servers to discuss genital castration, PISS fetish, gangbangs, and polyamory, all under the guise of DEI. NSA's interlink system meant for classified work was hijacked by gender activists pushing fetish talk on taxpayer time. So all of this is coming out, guys. All of this is being exposed. Department of Education got busted for running a rogue sanctuary program for illegal immigrants while holding secrets from DOGE and Congress via an encrypted messaging app. So they were using Signal to set up these sanctuary programs to avoid ICE, like Department of This is Department of Education. Commerce Secretary Luckman just confirmed that the Trump administration is looking to abolish the IRS.
Jess is she was like, if he gets rid of the Department of Education, will I have a job?
No, because it'll go back to the states. That's the point. Education will go back to the states.
No, she's talking the whole immigration thing.
Oh,
how
right.
A lot of her students,
right?
She doesn't know because I always ask her. I'm like, are they legal here?
Yeah.
Babe, I can't ask that question.
What he's doing?
Yeah, what you doing, James?
I'm in the kitchen.
No, we
Okay.
Cooking.
We're hearing it.
Getting a late night snack.
Better believe that.
Couple more things. Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. We knew that was coming. He finally just announced.
Oh, okay.
Trump. So
Is
huh?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I actually was gonna mention that. Like, he's supposed to be helping out with DOGE, I guess now.
No, that's why he left because he wanted to run for governor, so he couldn't do both.
Okay.
So that's why he was he was moved out of that position to be able to run for governor, and he didn't want to announce that at the time because he was trying to hold off, and now he finally made it official. Everybody knew he was doing that though. President Trump just told every governor in the U.S. that they need to switch to paper ballot, same-day voting, voter IDs, and proof of citizenship.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, Trump roasted the governor of Maine. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
She trying to push back. You messing with the wrong one.
I saw that one. Man, that was.
All right, and this last clip right here is Charlie Kirk with a professor at a college. Just watch this. This is talking about the Department of Education. Okay.
This is who's teaching our.
Yes, exactly. Watch this clip.
Adults.
Watch this clip and be amazed.
You're a teacher. Yes. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Oh, buddy. All right. So we define gender as a set of preferences that you have. Gender is a set of preferences we have. Woman is a social construct that we've agreed upon. Typically, we imagine womanhood as makeup or whatever. It is.
That terminology, womanhood.
There is a difference between the word woman and being a biological female. Woman is a social construct that we use. Listen for a second. I'm telling you what it means.
I'm telling you.
Woman is a social construct. We agree on these set of preferences. If I tell you that I'm a man, it's because I want you to know that I like these set of preferences. If I tell you I'm a woman, it's because I want you to know that I agree with these set of preferences.
Can men give birth?
Can men or can males? Because males can't. Listen for a second. If you listen to your bio professors, you would understand there's a difference between biology and what we think
So
about.
I want to thank you for proving a great point. You are why we should eliminate the Department of Education. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
look at that guy.
I mean, come on. This guy is a bio professor.
Oh my
Gosh. Okay. Yeah. Can't even answer a simple biology question.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So eliminating departments of education will take education back to the states. I don't know if Jess will be affected by that or not, but
hey, listen. Proverbs 3:5. Come on, man.
Yeah, listen. And
he's been good to us.
And he will continue to be good. Put your faith in God.
Yeah.
And know that all of these things that are happening are for our betterment. So, yeah, it may seem like there's annoying things happening or maybe something that's going to make things a little bit uncomfortable. That's what we got to go through, man.
That's what's happening to me right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody.
No, but I know everybody. But I'm just saying, it's just like everything at one time.
Yep.
That $5,000 will be a blessing to you.
I know, but when am I gonna get that? I need it now.
It's my money, and I. There we go. All right.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. Timer turned off again. I'm sure that the plan was to get people's genuine reaction and they would any other work email. Oh, okay. That's Amber referring to the work stuff we were talking about. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. We appreciate everybody. If you guys want to support what we do, don't forget going over to patreon.com/youngliontv. Become a member, sign up, help support what we do, help keep growing this thing, growing the community of the Young Lions. Also, get the merch on the website, jatan.com/shop, where you can get the new album. You can also get t-shirts, hats, the Grateful Bear, all of those things. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to James for jumping on the call. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
What you need?
Thanks for coming to the birthday dinner too, man. We had a great time.
No problem, man. I had a great time too.
I wish I would have got the steak. I got a little appetizer.
Tell Shaniqua I said hi.
All right, I definitely do.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see everybody next week.
All right, guys. See you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Young Lion, go live, yeah. Young Lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people in, ooh.